Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. We're 19 days away from Ohio State men's basketball. Buckeyes begin the regular season Monday, November 3rd, hosting IUPUI. OSU was left out of the AP preseason top 25, which was released on Tuesday. Purdue's the preseason number 1. Buckeyes were in the others receiving votes category. Ohio State will host Ohio University Sunday, October 26th for a scrimmage at the Shot. Buckeye Hoops legend Kellogg will join Bo Bishop 20 minutes from now. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's a 24.5-point favorite. Buckeyes are at 2-4 Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. And in baseball last night, the Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-1 in Game 2 of the NL Championship Series. LA's got a 2-0 lead in the best of 7. Game 3 is going to be at Dodger Stadium on Thursday. This update is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Tom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle Edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. How about this? Special K, Clark Kellogg in studio with us in about 15 minutes from now. 10 o'clock, we'll play a little higher, lower. Hear from Ryan Day around 9:30. 10:30, Jake Trotter going to join us as he does every single First Friday. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS or in the YouTube chat. Either one. You get some great prizes from our great friends at High Bank. If we pick the winner there, get your officially endorsed as well coming up at the end of the program. 37 years ago today was one of the seminal moments of my youth. This is the World Series. It is an unbeatable A's team that is impossible with Dennis Eckersley, who won the Cy Young and I think the MVP that year on the Hill. And it's Kirk Gibson waddling up to the plate. And in a season of the improbable, the impossible has happened from Vin Scully. It's probably... If you think of the gold standard of sports calls of all time, and I'm biased because I grew up a Dodgers fan, so I grant you that I'm biased of it, but it's probably as good as anything you're going to find. Vin Scully, after Gibson hits the ball out of here, he doesn't talk for over 30 seconds. And he just lets it breathe. He just lets it breathe. And then he says the line that I just uttered. And it did get me thinking a little bit about moments like that lived on only forever. Do we still have those type of moments? Do we still have those type of calls? Are there still things that you can hear in your head of the last 10 or 15 years? Or is that just a product of something that it happens when you're young and then you stop paying attention to those things going forward? If you think about the biggest moments in your sporting life, who's the narrator of it? And what are the plays that you remember over and over and over again in your head? Certainly the end of the national championship game in 2002 with Big Daddy on the call, we remember that obviously very vividly. There are other things that come out that probably pop into your head around here, but there are some of them, and this one's one of them. There's the call from Jack Buck in the World Series between the Twins and the Braves where he says, "And we'll see you tomorrow night." And then Joe mimicked that a few years ago when he was on a World Series call and mimicked his dad's call, which I thought was very cool that he was able to do. It feels like it's more of a product of baseball than anything else because you have time to let things breathe and marinate in baseball the way that you don't in some other sports. There are some NFL ones that come to mind. When you guys think of seminal moments with calls, or you remember exactly where you were when they happened, what are the ones that permeate for you?
So there's a handful of Fred McLeod moments from the Cavs' 2016 NBA championship run. If you don't remember, the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead that year in the finals. And so there's the block, there's the shot, and then there's the final call when it all culminates in a Cleveland World Championship not seen in like 100 years.
Were you listening to Fred?
I was watching.
You were watching, and Fred was, you had the radio up for the...
Not the radio, so he would have been the television broadcast.
So they... Oh, no, I knew that. But so they co-opted it because that game was on...
They had the feed available.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, when I think of it, I think of who would have been the NBA...
It would have been Breen on NBC.
Mike Breen. Yeah, Mike Breen on it on ESPN, right? Yeah, that's what that would have been. Bake?
So there's a ton of Marty Brenneman that come to mind over the years because I listened to the Reds so much growing up. When I think college football, I think Keith Jackson, and I think the Rose Bowl. Brent Musburger, Holy Buckeye.
Holy Buckeye is great.
Is one you'll always remember. The final call of the national championship game in 2002.
Yep.
Was so good. And then one, though, that I will always remember, it was back in, I believe it was 2008 or 2009. The Blue Jackets were playing Phoenix. And Rick Nash had the goal where he undressed two Coyotes defenders, one of them being Derek Morris. And I remember Rimmer on the call, and he's like, and a move, and another move. And then you just hear Danny Gare in the background. Whoa!
Yeah.
And that's a classic all-timer for me.
Dami just weighed in with another one. 86, Vern Lundquist, Masters. Yes, sir. With Jack Nicklaus at Augusta. Vern has some incredible ones at the Masters. I mean, he was one of my all-time favorites on football. I loved him on football. I loved Vern on basketball with Raftery, too. That's an all-timer. Like, I remember just listening to them in a hotel bar in Newark and just listening to them tell stories while Raft was sucking down Johnny Walker Black. And I'm like, this is all that you need right here. And I want to say Billis was on those calls, too. But Vern has a lot of the Tiger ones at Augusta because he always sits at 16. So he's got those there too. And remember when Tiger went over and shook his hand and found him when he was doing his last Augusta call at 16. Golf and baseball allow for the most of it because they allow for it to breathe. You have time and space in golf and baseball. The others, it comes so quick that, I mean, it's preposterous that Al Michaels came up with "Do you believe in miracles?" It's preposterous that you had that at the ready and was completely authentic and just an organic experience. It's crazy to have "Do you believe in miracles?" at the ready. So much so that for the majority of my life, I thought that was the gold medal game.
Most people did.
I mean, I thought it was the gold medal game. I had no idea they had to play another game. Finland?
Yeah, I believe it was
something?
Finland.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go play another game after that. It's like, well, can you imagine if they'd lost that? Like, holy cow, you do the impossible, and then you got one more game to play. Imagine if you're not on your game for that one. So, yeah, there's a lot of good ones with that, with those, but you got to have the time to breathe. So 37 years ago today for Vin Scully on the call of Dodgers and A's, and the Dodgers swept that series, which is crazy because so too did the Reds a couple of years later to that exact same A's team. They only won the one World Series. They beat the Giants in the Earthquake Series, the Bay Area Series, and that was it. They had the one series win, and that was it. I saw this yesterday. Mel Kiper Jr.'s first big board of the season. The Buckeyes are littered within the top 25. Arvell Reese, number 4 on his list. How folks have paid attention to Arvell Reese is number 8. Holy smokes. All the way up to number 4 on the big board. Caleb Downs was 7 on that. Carnell Tate was 12. Sonny Styles was the number 5 off-ball linebacker. Max Clare, number 2 tight end. Caden Curry, number 7 defensive end. Caden McDonald, number 6 defensive tackle. And what I think this is a great example of is when you go to Ohio State and you ball out and perform at a high level, there is no bigger stage in sports. It's just the whole world pays attention to you. And you think about, I hope that what they do in recruiting with the Arvell Reese story is they tell the story of a kid who was an incredibly willing participant who was ready to do all of the little things, juxtaposed with elite talent, who also trusted in a process that would get him to this point. And now he's going to be potentially, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a top 10 draft pick in the National Football League. He came in here, they didn't even know what to do with him positionally. Similarly with Sonny. We didn't know he's a great piece of clay, but what do we turn him into? And a couple of years working with threes, and you're going to have potentially 2 linebackers going in the first round of the NFL draft. That's a pretty dang good job right there, gentlemen.
I mean, it's the ultimate athlete, see ball, get ball. And for guys out there, who are still in, juniors or sophomores in high school, and the ability for them to see kind of what's being done at Ohio State at a level that's got few rivals in the country.
No.
Come here, you'll be developed. Not only will you be on premier games every weekend, you'll have the ability to play in front of everybody, but you'll be developed to play on Sunday. Is as good of a pitch as here's a bag of money.
Yeah.
And it's something we talked about a long time ago, Bo, with the versatility of this defense, with some of the cross-training that happens at Ohio State now, trying to get your best guys on the field. It's a lot easier to move guys around when Arvell Reese has had training as a defensive end.
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier to move people around when Sonny Styles has played safety before, when Jermaine Matthews has played the nickel corner and he's played outside. And it's one of the things, it helped this offensive line probably so much this year and so much last year with being able to bounce guys inside, outside, and we're seeing that Austin Sareveld, he's the left tackle now. But in a pinch, if they had to, they could move him inside because he's played there before. Carson Hinsman has played guard and center. Josh Padilla is now doing both. Ethan Onianwa. It's, as you've talked about so many times, it is such an NFL way of thinking over at Ohio State right now.
It really is. And you have to have it has to be both. You have to have the elite athleticism to get in the door, but then you have to have the elite intellect to be able to handle it. They are recruiting the best players in the country who also have to be among the smartest, because you have to be able to handle what is put on you at a place like this. But for those who do it and those who stay, not only will you be champions, you're going to be pros too. So all of those things certainly work out. All right, coming up next, the great Clark Kellogg in studio. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey guys, it's Bobby Carpenter here. Are you feeling low energy, trouble focusing, less interest in the things you used to enjoy? How about this? Less strength. It could be low testosterone. Affinity Whole Health is offering free labs to check your testosterone levels. These labs, they're normally $99, but in the month of October, they are free. Sign up now at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Learn why I and thousands of other men trust the experts at Affinity Whole Health. Go to feelgreatcolumbus.com and feel like yourself again.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
The Jackets are back in Nationwide for a matchup against the Avalanche. Live fan coverage starts Thursday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for us on this Wednesday with afternoon highs getting up right around 70 degrees. But we will get mostly clear tonight and cooler with overnight lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, though, we will have plenty of sunshine taking control, but it will be a little bit chillier with our afternoon highs only getting in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. And coming up in December, really cool event, December 20th through the 22nd at the Greater Columbus Convention Center, Holiday Hoopla High School Basketball Festival. This thing, it's a who's who. Every team you want to be, Central Ohio, Northeast Ohio, Dayton area represented, AAU-style tournament. And I think when you put something like this on, you come up with a list of who would be the perfect ambassador. You shoot for the moon and you say, boy, if we get Clark Kellogg, that'd be it. And then all of a sudden he says yes. What a victory. Clark, how are you, sir? It's great talking to you.
Yeah, likewise, Bo. Always good to visit with you, listen to you. And, yeah, you know how much basketball has meant to my life. I don't think I can ever repay the game. So I've benefited greatly with an enhanced life through basketball, continue to be in the game as a broadcaster after playing at every level. So I really value what sports in general and basketball specifically can mean to young people in their total development. One, it gives you a chance to be part of a team, but there's the fun component of it. There's the competition component of it. So I really try to support and love being part of anything that's going to try to help move young people forward in a positive vein. And sports is one of the places where we have seen that have an impact on the people's lives who participate in it.
My friend, you've had a front row seat, your own participation, your kids' participation, and then all of what you've done professionally at just the highest level in the game for all these years. As you think of where basketball is now, is there anything that gives you pause, or are we developing kids the way that we've always developed them? What do you make of the state of the game now?
Well, there is a bit of a change that is uncomfortable and not pleasant in terms of the development. I do think there is a component of better training in terms of the physical development of young athletes. You just have more information, more helpful information around how to develop the athlete holistically even. We've embraced the idea of mental training and mental health as part of the equation and part of holistic development of young and old folks. We've grown in understanding what that can mean related to performance. So I think there's been positives. I do think there's sometimes an overemphasis on being focused on one sport and professionalizing young kids way too early for a lot of different reasons, the desire to try to earn a scholarship, the potential payoff if you're one of the very few that becomes a pro. And I think that has sometimes gotten the cart in front of the horse, if you will. But I do think there are a lot of folks that really are about doing sports the right way as a piece of holistic development for young people. And I continue to land on the positive dimensions of being part of sports participation for young people, and just ask that folks, parents, and coaches would do it with the right motives in mind.
Man, if you can find those are gold
they're out
mines,
there.
right?
They're out there.
They are, though.
They're out there, Bo. I mean, we tend to accentuate and emphasize the negatives in a lot of spaces, but there are folks that are about the right things and doing it the right way, and we never want to lose sight of that because we know the positive impact that can have on the development of young people.
It's just the best. There's no better way to teach teamwork. There's no better way to think about social development and being with peer group that has your back. It's the best. I'm so involved in ours here locally because of that. I loved every part of it.
And I feel it. I feel your heartbeat on it, man. And I share it. Yeah.
You've had, we were talking about 37 years ago, the Vin Scully call on the home run for Kirk Gibson against the A's, and such a masterful call. You were front row to some of the greatest moments and biggest moments in the history of the sport. When you're a broadcaster in a moment like that, and the light turns off and it's no longer red, did you take a beat and just go, whoa, what did I just see?
Yeah, I've had multiple occasions where that's been the case. And it's a blessing and privilege to be in those moments and to have a chance to experience them and be part of them, even as a fan. Well, when the Cleveland Cavaliers came from 3-1 down to beat Golden State in 2016, my dad and I, he was in Cleveland, I was in Columbus. We had watched the game. He thought they had no chance. I was extremely confident that the LeBron James Cavaliers were going to do something that no other team had done, just to add to his level of significance and greatness in the game. And it unfolded that way in dramatic fashion. And my dad and I couldn't speak. We were on the phone, but we couldn't speak. I mean, he was a longtime Cleveland police officer, worked Cleveland Browns games, him and my late uncle. And we're diehard Cleveland fans. And to see that happen was one of the great – and it was really one of the last times he and I shared something that special, because he died not long after that in July. So I have that as a treasured memory of he and I being so proud and happy and thankful that we couldn't speak for like a minute. We were just breathing on the phone before we broke the silence with, "This is amazing, can't believe it, it's awesome," that kind of thing. Sports does that. Sports can do that for us.
There's a currency to it that you just can't put a dollar sign on, isn't it? I mean, that's no priceless.
Doubt. Well said.
Clark, you're part of it. What pride, you mentioned LeBron, and obviously, I mean, he's still going. He's into his 40s. What pride do you take in what this state has produced on the basketball court through all of these years, decade after decade? This Darren Peterson kid who's a freshman at Kansas.
I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's special. He certainly is. Yeah, I mean, you take great pride in anything that's connected to your history and your journey, particularly as it relates to the kind of athletes and people that the state has produced. And you can even go from the high school I attended, Villa Angela St. Joe's in Cleveland, and on to Ohio State. Obviously, tremendous history of successful athletes and people. And being part of that fabric, being a branch on that tree, is something that you're proud of for yourself, but you're also proud to be part of those other folks who represent excellence and achievement and goodness through sport and through their lives. So yeah, it's special. And it's unique. The sports fraternity is it's fairly universal, and it's pretty unique too, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you've put whatever level you've played at, there's something about being engaged in sports that connects you to other people that participate in sports, and that's kind of a special universal thing.
The first time I saw the Peterson kid play, it just was different, and you get a little buzz, and you're like, oh, that's different. Do you still get that?
Oh, yeah.
You see
a
youngster?
Yeah, it never gets old, man. It never gets old. And sports is it's predictable, but it's unpredictable. That's part of what's compelling. When you sit down to watch a game or listen to a game, you don't quite know what's going to happen. And many times you might see something that you've rarely seen. And that's the beauty of sports, the unpredictability of it, the excitement of it, the drama of it, and the special moments that competition, high-stakes competition, can produce. And that's at every level, whether it's middle school, high school, college, or the pro ranks.
Clark, I remember seeing you a lot when Thad was making those runs, the Elite Eight, Final Four, and you and Jim would a lot of times have those calls, and we'd see at the various places. And I remember the pride that and you're obviously consummate professional, so it never came through on the broadcast. But I know the pride that you had for it. What in your mind's eye should Ohio State basketball be? What should it be capable of?
Yeah, I think they should be. This program should be one that's competing for conference and national championships on a fairly regular basis. I mean, the competitive landscape is significant, but Ohio State has the resources and the ability to be in the mix for Big Ten championships. And if you position yourself there, then obviously national championship contention is right there. I don't know how often, but there's a level of excellence in competing for and winning championships on a reasonably consistent basis, competing for them regularly and then occasionally hitting the holy grail of being able to win them. It's hard to do so, but I think this program has we saw it. We've seen it. It's been a little bit since we've enjoyed that kind of competitive excellence, but I think we're on the horizon of moving in that direction again.
Feels like it's headed that way with Jake. He's building it the right way for sure. It is Holiday Hoopla High School Basketball Festival. It's at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. It's December 20th through the 22nd. Buddy, I'm looking at this list. It's basically a who's who. It's like an AAU. For those of you like me, you got kids in AAU. You got 6 courts going all at the same time. Can you imagine, as a high school kid, Clark, you participating in something like this?
I can't, because that wasn't the landscape I grew up in, but there was always competition and there was always excitement around that competition, particularly once I got to high school. But just the joy of being able, for a hoop junkie, I mean, you can helicopter in and out. You can actually loiter all day if you want to. I think it's going to be an exciting couple of days. And I'm looking forward to it because I've got a chance to actually be there with games being Saturday through Monday. And I think I think we've got the triple header on CBS on the 20th. So most likely I'll be in the studio, but I'll be back home that night or either sometime Sunday, and look forward to taking in some of the action either Sunday or Monday.
Every time I talk to you, I try to put myself in the mind space of like 12-year-old me, because you were the voice. You're like the basketball voice of God for me, buddy, growing up. For a lot of us, the final March Madness was my favorite thing, and the Final Four with you, it's just so synonymous. We're so lucky to have you. You're a gentleman. You're one of the greatest guys you're ever going to meet, and it's just always a privilege to talk to you. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it, Bo. Always good to visit with you, man. Keep up the great work, and basketball season at the college level is upon us.
It certainly is. The great Clark Kellogg. Thanks, buddy.
All right, Bo. Take care.
That's as good as it gets. That's basketball royalty right there. The great Clark Kellogg. Very lucky to have that guy as an ambassador in this town for his university, for the sport. It's as good as it gets. 2 minutes from now, Ryan Day on Moving On to Wisconsin. That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
Matty Ice here. How far are you willing to drive for a great deal on a new vehicle? Well, I made the short drive north to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion and got my new car. And right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. They believe in a no-hassle sales experience so you can get the truck you want at a price you'll love without the stress. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Buckeyes back to work this week. They are on to Wisconsin. Third road game in 4 weeks. Here is Coach Day on the challenges that provides.
Well, they play hard, and they're well coached. I think maybe the easy thing to do is to look at their record or look at maybe what happened last week and think that, otherwise, but that's not the case. And this is a team that, is has good players and is playing very hard. So, we have to have a great week of practice, and you hear me say it all the time. We got to focus on us and our process, but knowing that, when you turn on the film, last year they're playing LSU, this year they're playing Alabama. They're playing really good teams, and they've been right there with a bunch of them. So on the road, difficult environment. Another big challenge for us, and I think it's important for us to recognize that this will be our third game on the road in 4 games. Like, this is a big, focus for us, this 4-week window, and we want to make sure we finish this thing strong, because I felt like going in, we'd have an idea of what type of team we had, and knowing that going to Camp Randall is a huge challenge. So we got to go in and play our best football. We want to continually build, and so we need all hands on board.
That was a masterclass in salesmanship. But that's what he's got to do. He can't come on here and go, Ron Dane's not walking through the door. Melvin Gordon's not walking through the door. None of the J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, they're not walking through the door. These guys just lost to Iowa on their homecoming, 37-0.
When was the last time you think Iowa scored 37 points in like a 4-game span? They took 4 quarters and they did it on Wisconsin.
No.
I think they scored 38 on Rutgers this year, actually.
Oh, so it's an offensive renaissance.
This is who they are, yeah.
It's a high-flying with Iowa offense. Bo, I think the problem is, are any of us listening, buying?
No.
I know he's trying to sell it.
He's selling his team. He's trying to convince, and he's got to. And right now, if he were listening, he's going, Bo, shut up. Shut up. Like, let me sell this.
Since we're speaking of this, is it weird to you that this line has dropped like 3 points already?
Where is it now? It was 27.5,
and
right?
It's 24.5 now.
I think that might just be a product of Ohio State limiting possessions and just win in advance.
Oh, you
It
like
also might
trestle
be-
ball.
Yeah, and it could be
This
a
will be
product. It could also be a product of like, I don't think Ryan's going to bury Luke, like just to do it, So if it's, 28 nothing at half, do I think Ryan's going to try and add another 28? No, I don't. I don't think he will. I just don't know how Wisconsin's going to score. Like a point, let alone many points that would be required for them to cover a 24.5 point number. It's just a bad operation. And I think this is the thing right now. It's just stunning how bad it's gotten. I think this is Ryan's task. This is his task for the rest of this season is how do you maintain a standard when you are the standard? And unfortunately, you look at this schedule and I mean, Michigan, you don't need any help there. That sells itself. But the rest of this stuff out there, what gives you pause? Nico in November? I mean, Penn State was neutered anyway, and now they don't have a coach. They don't have a quarterback. Like, what's out there that would give you, like, so if you're him and you're guarding against upset, complacency, iron sharpens iron, we're not playing ourselves. We're playing, Alabama, or we're playing Oregon or Indiana or Miami down the road every week that we got to get better and better and better. These guys they're not blind, deaf, or dumb. They see what's happening in college football. So that's how you got to sell it, like he just did there. But it's a tough task. It's a tough task. And it doesn't matter what age group you're trying to motivate, but when all you do is win and no one is really up to giving you a challenge, how do you handle that? That's what he's selling right now. That's what that was about. It's a bad Wisconsin team.
And it'll be something that I wonder when they have their coaches meetings, they look and they are thankful for upsets like the one you had with Penn State or the last two you've had with Penn State. So you can say, all right, they'll be motivated by not trying to get embarrassed. They'll be motivated by not trying to get upset by one of these schools that they have no business on a football field with. If you're trying to do talent equate games, it's not going to be that through the rest of the season. Of course, Michigan, like you said, will be the only one that demands your attention. But even with Penn State now, there's talk that might not even be the big noon one anymore.
Yeah, I heard Tyvis and Brother Bone talking about that this morning. I'm with Tyvis. I still think it's going to be. I still think, no matter what, because I think the other game that weekend is Nebraska-USC.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of brand loyalty there. But if you're an executive at Fox and you have blue and white and you got scarlet and gray, I just think you trot out those brands regardless of what Penn State is at that time.
So what were the three picks that Big Noon had at the beginning of the year? It was
this one.
It was
Ohio State, Texas, this one, and Michigan.
Yeah, so
that's what we're led to believe. It's not announced yet that it's Big Noon, but I just believe that it is.
I can't see Penn State or NBC or Fox bailing on that if this is what they picked at the beginning of the year, which I think that's what they did, right? We all think it was, we know Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, Ohio State, and I have a pretty good feeling this was number 3 for them.
So the speculation is Fox owns the first pick of that week.
Yeah,
so
they pick
Fox,
the week.
Fox can pivot if they'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't think that's ultimately going to be the case. But there is rumblings, and I think just the rumblings of it speak to how bad it's gotten for Penn State, outside of obviously losing your quarterback, losing your coach, losing 3 in a row, and not really having a team that's going to be remotely competitive on November 1st.
Well, listen to this, though. So they've lost 3 in a row. They're at Iowa this week. So very likely they'll lose their 4th in a row. They'll be 3-4, and then they got a bye week, just like Ohio State does. So both programs will have bye weeks. You can sell this pretty easily. The helmets sell themselves, first of all, and then beyond that, you can sell it pretty easily. A week to rally behind the new coach. Like there's ways to sell it. And by the way, in terms of talent equates, games left, Penn State still has, of the teams remaining on the schedule that are scheduled to play, Penn State still has the most talent of the teams we're scheduled to play. It didn't come together, but they are more talented. And by talent, I mean guys that are going to get drafted. Penn State's got more NFL talent than everybody on this list. They're not as dangerous as Michigan, not at all. Well known, acknowledged. But it's Wisconsin this week, off week. Then it's Penn State, at Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, Michigan. That's it. So what we just heard him talk about Wisconsin, he's going to have to. You think this is bad? You got Purdue in a few weeks. At least UCLA's won a couple of games with Nico, so you'll have some attention there. You know that's a big-time quarterback, and they're spinning it around a little bit. But then Rutgers. So, like, this is the job. This has got to be one of the more difficult jobs for Ryan Day, is every week almost turning off all the noise, all the rat poison, making your kids almost completely unaware of what is happening in the real world so that they show up on Saturday in Madison thinking that they're walking into a hornet's nest. I mean, I'm guessing... My guess is there's going to be a lot of empties for that one.
Yeah, jump around might not have the same feel when it's Ohio State and their team doing the jumping at the beginning of the fourth quarter from Camp Randall. I also think it's by design at the top of the season, or even, January 21st. They were talking about it's us versus us in the mentality of this season and attacking the national championship. And, I mean, I think he's drilled that into their heads every day since the day after the national championship for exactly this. Whereas if you're at Ohio State and you're the Death Star of college football, you want to be fully armed and operational when Yavin 4 comes into view. And so then Yavin 4, obviously in this instance, being the big house in Michigan, you're ready to go when you're firing on that, the ultimate goal of this season, then the college football playoff.
It will be interesting to see because I think usually Ohio State has a pretty good contingent of fans that go with them to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It might be bigger than normal this year because those seats might be easy to get this season.
It's a great point out of you. Yeah, it's a great trip, and there's so many Buckeye fans in the region anyway, in the Chicagoland area, all of that. But if you wanted to, it'd kind of be like the ultimate guys trip too. Like if you wanted, or gals trip, if you want, you go play like the golf, and then go to Whistling Straits, and then come over, make a little trip out of it. That sounds like that's a win for everybody. So yeah, I mean that's his job this week. That's his job most weeks, is we have to sharpen ourselves against ourselves in order to get to where we need to get, and because the challenge just isn't going to be there from the Big Ten. I honestly have no idea how Wisconsin's going to move the ball. I don't know how they're going to pick up a first down. I really don't know.
So the weather will be mid-60s and rain.
Okay.
They'll try to run it.
Bo, real quick on that big noon discussion for that November 1st, the argument would be USC at Nebraska. But USC plays Notre Dame this week, and I wonder if a loss to Notre Dame takes some of the steam off of that game's luster.
So I mentioned that game. I just think even if they both get there at 6-1, it's not Ohio State.
It doesn't rate as much as Ohio State, Penn State.
No, I think sometimes people forgot, including Jim Delaney, how long it's been since Nebraska was Nebraska. I mean, they were almost 20 years from being Nebraska when they joined, 15 years anyway, when they joined the league. And now it's been another 15 years on top of it, or almost. They're not what they were. It's been a long time since Tom Osborne was there running that thing. All right, we had it was interesting, like no football last night, the rare instance where there was no football, but the little plucky Dodgers did take a 2-0 lead on the Brewers. We'll get into a little bit of some of the sports from last night coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, that's too... Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
You've heard about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's an old one. My dad told that one to me. But when it's your real feet, it's not a game. It's awful. Hey, it's Anthony. I had pain in my feet and my lower back, so I went to the Good Feet store and got the support I needed in my shoes that changed the game for me. I went in and they personally fit me for arch supports that would be perfect for my feet. The fitting process is simple. They ask the right questions about exactly what I was experiencing and the lifestyle I want to be able to live. They professionally measured my feet and arch size, and before I knew it, I was wearing my new arch supports home. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put into all of my shoes. Get professionally fitted at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And the Buckeyes are headed to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers. Nobody gets you closer to the game than the Fan and 10 TV. Kick things off Saturday at noon. Central Ohio Toyota Fan Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Simulcast on the Fan and 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. Then watch the game at 3:30 on 10 TV and listen to it live here on the Fan and 10 TV. Your home for the Buckeyes. Man, it's crazy what's happened to Wisconsin. Absolutely crazy. Not so crazy in terms of what did you watch last night? What were you guys pulled to?
The Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you a flipper? Did you you saw it was on and you landed, or did you seek it out?
No, I didn't seek it out, but when I turned on or I tuned up HBO Max, that was in front of me. I was like, yeah, well, that's what I'm doing.
I watched a little bit of wrestling, maybe like a half hour, but I was just doing other things last night, doing things around the house, not really paying attention. Just kind of took a night off from everything.
We had last night. We had in the youth basketball program. We had the high school coach came and gave a clinic for the coaches, the other coaches, the youth coaches, which is awesome of him. And if you can have that type of buy-in, you're onto something. If you have a special basketball coach who will help with the youth at the high school level, that's just a massive step in the right direction for your program. So he did that. And in the meantime, we had 2 windows for the kids to do uniform try-ons. So the 3rd and 4th graders, which is a total of 36 kids, went from 6:30 to 7. And then from 7:30 to 8 was the 5th and 6th grade try-ons, and then they would have practice for an hour after. So 3rd and 4th went 7 to 8, and then 5 and 6s went 8 to 9. So we had all this stuff going on. So I asked my wife, I'm like, can you help me with uniform try-ons? Because one thing that you want to try to avoid in youth sports is having to replace having to replace uniforms that somehow don't fit. So if you have to come try them on, then you know it's going to fit. So we had that. So afterwards, she was done with that, and I really appreciate her help. She was done by 8 o'clock. Her and a couple of her friends were there to help with that. So they were done by 8 o'clock. So I got home like 9:30, and she's just smoked. And she had a glass of wine, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, why? And she's like, dealing with all of those kids is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is. Don't I know it? And the notion of there is something that is almost uncorrallable in youth, and that is if you have a bunch of them in what I call a staging area waiting for the main activity, forget it. So if you have, in this instance, we had 36 fifth and sixth graders waiting for 8 o'clock for the third and fourth graders to clear the courts for them to come on, forget it. That's Bonnaroo gone bad is what that thing is. You got balls bouncing off of things, bouncing off of people's heads, parents trying to corral kids who are uncorrallable. It happens every single time. So I said, well, honey, this is what I do. This is my next 4 months is corralling these little humans the way that you experienced it. So I get home, and I don't even remember what day it is. And I'm bouncing around just kind of for anything that'll capture my attention for a little bit. And I actually did watch some more of the baseball. I sought it out and I watched it. And you watch this Dodgers operation, and I cannot imagine that any of this is rating. I just can't. There's something that seems so inevitable about the Dodgers. And I know that they didn't have the best record. I wasn't following all year. But when you see what they're doing, you see what they're getting from their starting pitching, and then you see that lineup, and you just go, it's not that lineup's not even really, it's not crushing it right now. And it's still the idea of going Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. What are we doing? Every time around, you got to deal with that. And there's an inevitability to them. That's crazy. They won it last year. They're going to win it again this year.
Yeah, it was one of the games I was monitoring because I don't know if you guys had seen this from Monday's game 1 where Yoshinobu Yamamoto was doing like a wheel pose and then he walked up the wall as part of his warm-up routine. And I sent it to Tyvis thinking like, see, elite athletes stretch and they get a great stretch to optimize their body. And then he went out last night and he threw 9 innings. 7 Ks with 1 earned run.
Well, and I was lamenting how they pull in the pitchers after the 5 innings. So Yamamoto did that, and then Snell in game 1 went into the 9th too.
I was thinking about this morning, Bo, while we were putting stuff in the prep and getting ready for the show. We are going to have a TV nightmare for the baseball in the World Series because it's looking like an all West Coast.
Oh, man.
A Dodgers who people might have a little bit of fatigue on, although they're still a big brand, in Seattle, who I don't even know if a lot of people know has a baseball team. I mean, I'm sure they do because the Mariners have been there for a long time. But I don't a World Series this year, I don't think that's going to rate at all if that's what we're getting, and it sure looks like it.
It does. I do think if my hunch is you'd rather have that's the best possible if you're Fox, because you don't get any credit if it's the Blue Jays. You don't get any credit for the Canadian viewership. So that one would be bad too. At
so
least
either way, it's rough.
It's rough either way. And then Brewers, nobody outside of Milwaukee cares about the Brewers. There's no following there at all. But that's actually, they don't need to catch my strays. That's, I think, baseball in general. That's basketball. That's hockey. That's just where we've headed. I've talked about that a lot over the last, half decade or so. Those sports have become so hyper-regionalized that if you have a team in it and you follow your team and you watch your team, but when your team is eliminated, there are so few of you who then will stick with it. You talked about it, Bake, with the Reds. How once, you bailed on them in August and they got into the playoffs and then that was it. Same with you, Reese. Like, how much baseball have you watched since the Guardians have been eliminated?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah, there isn't this thing of like, we got to see what's going to happen at the World Series. That part is gone. Or we're going to got to see what's happening in the finals. Now, if you get a Game 7, Game 1 will do great numbers. A Game 7 is always going to do great numbers. That's one of those things that transcends your interest. Hockey, too, you'll do better if you get to a Game 7. They did a decent number last year with a Game 7. When you get there, that was 2 years ago. When you get there, you get some ratings for it. But, like, in terms of just in general, it's just not there. It's football, it's NFL, and it's college. Did you guys see this? The Buccaneers 49ers game on Sunday on CBS it was almost 27 million viewers. It was the highest rated Sunday regular season NFL game since 2007, I want to say, with the Cowboys and the Patriots. Like, the idea that it's still climbing. Everything else is receding. The two footballs.
And that's with a Sunday morning London game. Like, national fatigue doesn't happen with the NFL. With almost every other sport, it does when you're asking your people to be up at 9 in the morning or even earlier to watch that London crap. And they're still sticking around, heading on to CBS for something you haven't done in 20 years.
Yeah. And it's wild. It just you have the complete and total buy-in of it. I don't know if we have the complete and total buy-in of the Associated Press top 25 college football poll, but we'll have a little fun with it at higher or lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
You know what my favorite place is to watch a game? The ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I are throwing a huge party for the Thursday night Steelers-Bengals game. We have tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the game at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Amazing food, huge screens, and prizes. That's a winning parlay. Can't wait to see you Thursday night. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months. Or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at GermainToyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at ColumbusMen'sClinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic. Making it happen.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. An app only.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Top-ranked Ohio State's on the road for the second week in a row. Buckeyes are a 24.5-point favorite at 2-4 Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. Hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. Buckeyes are on a bye next week before hosting Penn State Saturday, November 1st. In baseball last night, the Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-1 in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. L.A. leads the best of 7, 2-0. They'll host Game 3 on Thursday. In the ALCS, the Mariners lead the Blue Jays 2-0. Seattle will host Game 3 tonight at 8. In the NHL, the Oilers shut out the Rangers 2-0 on Tuesday. New York's the first team in NHL history to be shut out in their first 3 home games. Blue Jackets are back on home ice tomorrow night, hosting the Colorado Avalanche Thursday at 7 p.m. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
ESPN's Jake Trotter coming up in 29 minutes from now. Between then and now, time for a little higher, lower. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222 or visit online at thewaterworks.com.
I had to refresh the rankings a couple of times because I'm still in a little disbelief over what I'm seeing. Not necessarily with Ohio State, not necessarily with Miami, but Week 8 in the AP Top 25. There are 3 of yous out there that think Indiana should be the number 1 team in the country, and I don't know if I have a good counter to your argument. Hoosiers at 3. Higher or lower for Indiana there?
Look, I mean, we led the show with this Monday when NBC said that to me, the 13-year-old, when he said, Dad, Indiana should be number 1. And I said, no way. What are you talking about? What? And he goes, Dad, they won. You said Oregon was the second best team in the country. They just won at Oregon. They beat Illinois 2 weeks ago, 63-10. That's more than we beat them by. They should be number 1. And I said, no, come on. And he goes, well, what if they were USC? What if they were Auburn and they had that accomplishment? How would they be ranked? And I said, yeah, probably. Probably would be number 1 if that were USC. And they were sitting there with a 6-0 record and had the quality wins that they had. I think you could make I think if you're one of the 3 people voting for Indiana, you can hold your head high and say this is what they deserved. It's going to inevitably, and as we get into this, I'm guessing we're going to have more of this, inevitably it's going to get to the point of best versus most deserving. Do I think Indiana is the 3rd best team in the country? Yeah, I think they might be. Do I think they're better than Ohio State? No, I do not. I don't think they're better than Ohio State. I think Ohio State would be favored by more than a score. I think it would be 7+, 8+, something like that is my guess on what the number would be if Ohio State played Indiana. But at the same time, if you're one of those three, I don't blame you.
Yeah, if you're one of those three, I understand. Because they went on the road to the number 2 team in the country and beat them. I don't know, maybe Oregon was ranked were they ranked number 2 last week?
They were 3, I think.
So they went on the road to number 3 and they beat them. They also boat raced Illinois.
Yeah.
Who I still believe is a top 20, top 25 team at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand that. Ohio State did beat the number 1 ranked team in the country to open the season. Now that was open the season, so you didn't have anything to go on, really. But Indiana did not beat the number 1 team in the country last week.
No.
They beat the number 3. So I can understand why you would have Indiana number 1. I personally have them number 2. I have them 1 spot higher than 3, so I will have to say higher. But I do believe that the Buckeyes should be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best team in the country.
Yeah.
At number 4 in the AP Top 25, again, these are the rankings going into week 8 of the college football season. You've got Texas A&M. Ole Miss is 5. Alabama is 6. The Tide jumped 2 spots after surviving Missouri. Higher or lower for the Tide at 6?
So I would have Alabama. I would not have them above Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M has separated. I'm paying a little close attention to Ole Miss, the way that they kind of struggled with Washington State. That happens sometimes. Doesn't happen here very often, but it does happen sometimes where you just seeing past somebody. This gaggle here of 3, they to me feel like the SEC teams that have separated. I think A&M is the class of the league. I think Alabama might have the highest ceiling in the league. But I think they're flawed too. And the reality is they survived Missouri, they survived Georgia, they're surviving and advancing. But they are not, I don't think, on the level of Ohio State and Miami. Maybe they can get there. Their stretch of games is pretty tough. They were at number 5, Georgia won 24-21. They hosted Vanderbilt. They win 30-14. But it was much closer than that. That was a late touchdown to give that the cover, then meet Missouri by 3. They get Tennessee this weekend in Tuscaloosa. Like, that is a brutal stretch of games. As much as I think some of these teams are overrated in the SEC, that's a brutal stretch. So I would probably have Bama ahead of Ole Miss, but I would keep Texas A&M where they are.
So I won't lie, in my rankings, I seriously thought about putting Alabama number 2. Because I think if Alabama played Indiana, they might win. I think if they played Miami, they would win. I think if they played Texas A&M, they would win. I probably think right now Alabama, talent-wise, is the second best team in the country behind Ohio State. I heard Bone talking about this earlier, saying he thought Bama was maybe the only team in the country that plays defense like Ohio State. Now, he said they don't tackle as well as Ohio State, but he said they kind of have a scheme that could hang with Ohio State. That was just him saying that, watching a lot of football. I've believed in this Alabama team all along, even though they lost that opener to Florida State. I think they're pretty good. I have them ranked 4th in my rankings, so I would have them 2 spots higher. But I did think about putting them at number 2.
Do you think that how much... I mean, they can't run the football at all. I mean, it's Ty Simpson. And every one of these games are tight. The Vandy game's tight. It ends up 30-14, but that's a tight game. That's a backdoor late cover. They're like surviving and advancing.
They've had a heck of a 3-week run, as you mentioned.
They have, but it kind of speaks also to that thing we talked about. Like, are we sure Vanderbilt was the 16th ranked team in the country, or do we just have to rank an SEC team? There's some of that in it too.
Were they the 16th ranked team, or are they? I don't know, but I do believe Vanderbilt's a top 25 team.
Yeah.
Now maybe it's 24th, 25th, but I think they're a top 25 team.
Like, they're playing Tennessee. Tennessee's ranked 11th.
I think that Missouri team is really good too. I think they're a top 25 team.
Reese, would you have had it on your bingo card? Ryan Baker, SEC apologist?
I do not.
On the first Friday? I didn't have that.
I don't think this is apologist. I just think this is honesty here.
His buddy Paul Feinbaum will join us at 10:30 tomorrow. Yeah.
Feinbaum's going to be on tomorrow. You and him, maybe? Get you some barbecue?
I can feel my ears growing.
At number 7, you got Texas Tech. At 8, Oregon. 9, Georgia. At number 10, LSU, we kind of forgot about the Tigers here, but higher or lower for Louisiana State at 10?
Let's just do this exercise. Let's go, all three of us, 9, 10, 11. Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. I think Tennessee has played better than LSU. Georgia beat Tennessee by a field goal in a game that could have gone either way. I think all of these teams are really flawed. All of them are. I think they probably have the order. I would probably go Georgia, Tennessee, LSU would be my order with these three at 9, 10, 11. But I think they all have some major flaws.
So my 9, 10, 11 is Georgia, LSU, Georgia Tech. That is my 9, 10, 11. So I feel like they've got Georgia and LSU pegged right. I'm not there with Tennessee. I'm not a believer in the Vols.
You like LSU more than Tennessee?
Yeah, because I think their offensive line is a little better. And I think maybe their skill position players are a little better. I think Tennessee all along, I've kind of felt like they were a 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. So I actually have them right at 15.
Well, if you're interested, the schedule for LSU is at Vanderbilt this Saturday. That'll be a nooner. And then in next week, they're going to be hosting Texas A&M. And then in a couple weeks, it's Alabama. And they close the season at number 14, Oklahoma. So,
holy cow. What are we going to do with all these guys? They're all going to have 2 and 3 losses. Like Alabama is losing again. They are not going to be 11-1. They're going to lose again. A&M's going to lose twice. Ole Miss is going to lose twice. They're going to have 6 teams 10-2.
Right now,
it's going to be a mess.
All we can do is wait for that first college football playoff reveal on Tuesday, November 4th. I think that'll be huge, at least for the Southeastern Conference. And a lot of those teams that will have, to your point, 2 losses, maybe a third loss in conference play when we get to November. But right now,
let's do a quick higher lower. Higher or lower, SEC champion, 2.5 losses.
Lower.
I think it's lower.
You think someone will go 11-2?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not convinced. I know it's a tough schedule. I'm not convinced Alabama doesn't get there at 11-1.
Buddy, they have been playing with fire.
I am convinced.
Fire. They got Tennessee. Bama's got Tennessee this week. Then they're at South Carolina. Then LSU, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, if Mateer gets healthy, that's the one that kind of worries me for them.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
brutal
know.
run.
The way Alabama's been, it wouldn't surprise me in the Iron Bowl. They fall to Auburn in a last-second field goal.
Anything can happen in those games.
Auburn has played everybody tough. What are they, 3-3 right now?
They lost again.
They've got to be by far the best 3-3 team in the country. They have played everyone ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Feinbaum. Wow.
I'm just saying. I think
now we're doing the best 3-3 teams in the country.
I saw somebody yesterday say, is Hugh Freeze the next one to get fired? And I was like, really? They're playing pretty good.
I want to see what other 3-3 teams there are to argue with you.
Probably have to find one in this.
Army's pretty good.
Yeah.
No,
that's where you got to go.
That's an incredible turn this took.
The real beef here, guys, is at the end, and it's in the other receiving votes. Illinois should not have.
I was just about to go there with you.
Go ahead, Reese.
Well, in the others receiving votes category, the AP Top 25, Illinois with 113 points, Michigan with 73 points, Washington with 36 points.
Yeah,
I guess it would be more or less for the Huskies, the Wolverines, and the Illini.
Michigan, they don't need to be ranked. They got hammered pretty good by USC, but Washington and Illinois should both be ranked. Washington should be ranked in the middle of the teens.
Yes.
Somewhere. They should be 15, 14, something like that. While I'm at it, there's no reason that USC is ranked 20th. USC is better than South Florida. They're better than Virginia. They're better than Vanderbilt. I think they're better than Missouri. These start getting into. I mean, we'll find out. They play Notre Dame this week, so we'll see if they can hang with them. But they really very easily could be undefeated right now at 6-0. They had Illinois. Illinois gutted up and won in the end. I want to say in the last second field goal. So that USC team's pretty solid.
I'm glad you just went there. Who do you have higher in your rankings, USC or Illinois?
Well, I would have Illinois higher because they won head-to-head.
And I have Illinois one spot ahead, too.
But I do think that USC's better than Illinois. I know that doesn't make any damn sense, but they lost in Champaign on a last-second field goal in a game that they kind of had and then blew it. And I think USC's ceiling's higher. Maeva can sling it, and they got a receiver who's going to be a top 10 pick. So they're dangerous in a way that I don't think Illinois is. But yeah, I would have them both ranked. And Washington needs to be I don't understand the disrespect for Washington. Like, that's utter nonsense to me. Speaking of utter nonsense, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to do you one to the FCS coaches poll with Montana at 4, Montana State at 5. Your Bobcats are 5-2. The Grizz is 6-0.
We lost our first 2, but have won 5 in a row. Brawl of the Wild coming up here in a little bit more than a month. I'll tell you what I'm really curious about. Usually it's North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana State are always in the top 4. But all of a sudden a Tarleton State pops in. Who the heck's Tarleton State? Where are they from?
The Texans is what they're
there
called.
They are. They're the Texans. Must be from Tarleton, Texas, I guess.
They beat Army by 3.
They're sitting there at number 3.
How did
dare
it go for the Grizz in those beautiful uniforms?
Down at half, but then rallied. They rallied.
I mean, with that helmet, you have to.
How do you, the slobber and grizzly? Come on, man. I mean, I hate them, but I love that. That's beautiful. All right, this is not beautiful. Private equity in college football and in the Big Ten. Thankfully, it seems that a rival of our most hated rival seems to be doing God's work on this one. We'll explain it all coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Dormar, your kind of hero. For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
An incredible night of firsts.
Are you kidding me? Fox Tonight is TV's most epic game night.
I'm Rob Lowe. This is The Floor.
And the competition soars to new heights.
It is an entirely new game.
Then on 99 to beat.
Ref, can I get a ref?
Ken, there's tension out there.
3 players' $1 million dreams come down to a photo finish.
We don't know who's eliminated. We gotta look back at the tape.
My heart is racing.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Common Man and Timmy.
And everybody said, ooh, have you seen Blair Witch Project? It's real. Shut up.
I thought it was real.
Oh, babe.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for us on this Wednesday, with afternoon highs getting up right around 70 degrees. But we will get mostly clear tonight and cooler with overnight lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, though, we will have plenty of sunshine taking control, but it will be a little bit chillier, with our afternoon highs only getting in the mid to upper 60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and proudly we are sponsored and brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. You see the, did you know this, Reese, that the Cavs are wearing the LeBron Navy Blues throwbacks?
I just saw the release for it. Those, boy, evoke some emotion. Some emotion.
Yeah, they have.
Cut that up, Baker.
Yeah, how would you describe young LeBron? From a fan perspective.
Trying to think of a quick way to, because it's all over the place. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for him, those teams that he played with, if they had given him any kind of talent, it would have just been so different. But he dragged probably, was it 07, the worst team to the NBA Finals that's ever been assembled.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see those jerseys, it evokes that kind of emotion in me where it's like LeBron played just all over. I mean, wild, I guess is a good word for it, because he was everywhere, because he had to be, because the team stunk. And there was just like the cast of characters, like Boobie Gibson wearing that uniform. I mean, yeah, it's an incredible thing what LeBron's time in Cleveland the first time was.
You think about the, I think he was a little bit like Bo Jackson on a basketball court. Like you'd never seen anything like it. You'd never seen anybody that big move that way. And it was a little bit before the NBA got to be so 3-point heavy, where everything was just a pick and roll and get into mismatches and hunting defenders and kicking to open threes. It was a little bit more of a free-flowing game still at that point when he was wearing those jerseys in early 2000s.
And
early
the shorts.
2000s. Yeah, all of that. So it was one of those things that was just, it played a little bit different. And I truly mean this. Like, he was must-see TV in those days. You just didn't know. You didn't know what type of dunk you'd see. You didn't know if he'd score 25 straight in a quarter. Like, it was so crazy to watch on a night in, night out basis, the way that he brought it. That was before load management. It was before any of that. Like, he just went out and played every game and was
like at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It was 100 miles an hour.
Who was the best player he played with early on? Was it Larry Hughes? Was that the best guy?
Well, yeah, I mean, the misses in those drafts. So, like, DeJuan Wagner was a high draft pick, and then he didn't, he got sick. I think he had an illness or something that prohibited kind of him becoming what they thought he was going to be. They had Larry Hughes. They missed on guys like Luke Jackson out of Oregon in the draft. They had him in the draft, like J.J. Hickson. Like, they just needed anybody to try to make him better. And people will come back and say, well, he would never commit long-term. Well, he did. In the beginning, he did.
He did, yeah.
And they just didn't draft around him, worth a dang. And then at the end, maybe he didn't. Remember him requiring Anton Jameson and all that, but none of that pushed him over. But, yeah, he drugged some brutal teams with Anderson Verger. They still had Big Z, so that
I was going to say Agauskas, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they retired his jersey.
Yeah.
Him taking that team to the finals, though, that he did might be one of the greatest feats in basketball history, like greatest individual feats that he got that team to an NBA finals.
I think it's right there with the 3-1. It doesn't get talked about as much as the 3-1 because it didn't manifest in the championship.
Yeah.
And I think they got swept by the Spurs in the final. But the idea that he drug that team, that game that he had against Detroit, where he have 25 in a row?
It was nuts.
Was crazy to watch. He was just a one-man wrecking crew is what he was. One of the big stories that is happening right now in college sports is this idea of private equity, and it's been rumored out there that the Big Ten is looking at a $2 billion deal. And the reporting would suggest is that Tony Petitti is really pushing this. My belief, somewhat educated, is that Ohio State really is not a fan of this and doesn't feel like it's necessary. Michigan feels similarly. The Big Ten's $2 billion private capital deal is getting some headwind, and it's coming from Ohio State, and now USC is joining along with Michigan. The two schools discussed their shared skepticism during the call, which took place Tuesday between the trustees at Michigan and USC. The sticking point, the deal doesn't address the root issue, soaring costs that have been made the need for cash so imperative for athletic departments, just providing short-term money. Well, no kidding. Of course that's what they're going to do. But guys, this is always my problem with this, because what I'm concerned about and what we talk about the most is Ohio State football. Why would Ohio State cast its lot to bail out so many of these substandard programs in this league? Why would you sign up to be tied at the hip? It doesn't matter.
Through 2046.
You know who I'm talking about. Why would you cast your lot in this? I don't see that. If you want a private equity deal, if you're Ohio State, do your own private equity deal. Why are you propping up Purdue and Rutgers and Iowa and all the rest? Why are you propping them up? You don't need them. You want to do a private equity deal at Ohio State, Michigan, USC? Do it on your own. You keep the money. Why are you sharing with these other people? What's the private equity cut for Purdue? They're low-hanging fruit because they're really bad right now, but you could substitute 4 or 5 Big Ten programs for Purdue, and it would all have the same answer. Why would you cast your lot with them? I wouldn't. I want my share of it. So I'm glad that there's pushback at the highest level with this thing, because I think this is bad, bad, bad.
I wonder, in the past with more Big Ten or conference-friendly regimes at the top of some of the premier programs in the conference, if this wouldn't have already been signed, sealed, and delivered. But I'm glad that leadership at several institutions is where it is now, that it's like, no, you guys are, like Ted Carter came out and said a couple weeks ago, like there will be you earn what you earn, or you get what you earn in terms of conference revenue. And I think there is some language in what would be this initial deal that they're thinking about that would be a tiered system. But that should be something that doesn't involve you giving ownership of yourself over to, or however small the percentage is, to some nameless, faceless entity that you don't really know much about.
Ohio State has been so protective of their brand and monetizing their brand that they've trademarked the word "the." Why are you going to go into a deal where you are tying yourself to all these other, it doesn't make any sense. And listen, I know Ohio State has been a good partner and a good soldier with the Big Ten in everything, but you don't need any of them. You're King Kong.
Yeah.
Stop doing this. Stop making yourself small to help everyone else.
Real Madrid doesn't worry about propping up Athletic Bilbao. Handle your own business. Keep your own money. It's time to be a little bit selfish. 2 minutes. Jake Trotter, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. We have had some good weather over this fall. It's been mostly warm, but sooner or later, it's going to get cold. Maybe you're already starting to feel it in your house because your old drafty windows are letting in that air. Could be the builder grade windows that just came with your house. You thought you were getting great windows. Turns out they weren't as good as you thought. That's where Window Nation can help. This month, you can buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 more for free. There is no limit to how many windows you replace. Plus, your total price includes 1-day installation. Window Nation also has a deal where you don't have to make any payments for 2 years. Is that going to help out with your holiday bills a little bit? I would think so. And above and beyond all that, Window Nation also is giving away tickets to an Ohio State football game when you upgrade your home with Window Nation windows. Free windows, 0 payments for 2 years, all with Window Nation. Go to windownation.com. The estimate is free, the windows are great, and you can get Ohio State tickets. What's not to love? Go to windownation.com today. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed it is. And the senior college football reporter at ESPN joins on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When you were in state college and watching Oregon get a win in what was a classic, if I would have told you on that very long drive home that within 3 weeks James Franklin would be fired and they hadn't won since, you would have said what?
I would have said, what could he have possibly have done?
Mm-hmm.
It's you would have thought something crazy would have happened. And I've actually had the same conversation with a lot of people who were there at that game or who I've been texting with about that game. And it's like, you can't imagine that this happened. Not that dissimilar from thinking like a year ago, what if I told you Mike Gundy would be fired?
Mm-hmm.
Like what could have happened? I mean, they were playing in the Big 12 championship game, but in this era of college football, things move pretty fast. And I think we all saw, after the last 2 games, UCLA, Northwestern, that Penn State was broken and James Franklin was not going to be able to fix what had happened.
When you did some great reporting, by the way, on the Oklahoma State stuff. That was a really interesting story that you did there. Because when you and I were texting with Tyvis about this, because we have this text thread about Penn State that we all share on, and one of the things that I was surprised, you got to come up with $50 million, right? So, doing your reporting on Oklahoma State and how this all comes to about, what can you tell us about the process of firing a coach with a massive buyout and trying to then have money to hire the next guy, all the while doing stadium renovations and paying NIL, just how complicated all of this gets?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a similar story that I think is running tomorrow. I was actually at State College on Monday. And, amazingly, money is not a concern that they have. They're not really worried about the $49 million buyout. They have some donors that, stepped up and, are going to write those checks. They have the $700 million renovation ongoing. I don't know if you've been to State College recently, but the whole Beaver Stadium area is just under construction. It's a pain in the butt to get inside the stadium right now. So like they have a lot going on right now, but wasn't just the infrastructure or, the dollars that we know about. And, some NFL people made this comparison, making some calls this week. And I think I hadn't thought of it, but it makes a lot of sense to me. And I think it's very similar. Penn State looked at what Ohio State was doing last year.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Penn State was looking at Ohio State? Yeah. Penn State was looking at what Ohio State was doing last year and really tried to mimic that. They went out and got their Chip Kelly, which happened to be Jim Knowles. Mm-hmm. They dished out a lot of cash to keep players from going to the NFL, similar to Ohio State. And, the Katron Allens and Drew Allers of the world, came back. They had a loaded roster, and they poured a lot of money into this season. And when you don't win with that kind of investment, there are repercussions for that. And I think, if you can imagine what would the nightmare scenario have been for Ohio State last year, mm-hmm. That's what Penn State is living through right now. And, Ohio State got a national championship out of it. With Penn State, James Franklin got fired, and the buyout wasn't going to save him after the Northwestern game. I was kind of surprised, too. So did you think he was going to get fired after the Northwestern loss?
I said if they could come up with the money, they needed to, but I didn't know if they would have people willing to write those checks right now because of all of the things you just mentioned.
Yeah, I kind of had to say, I was like, this is not heading in a good direction. But,
mm-hmm.
And talking to people who did, with the program who didn't know how it was going to go, they thought it was more likely than not that he was going to get fired. Okay. So I think it just echoes the realization that this was over, and it was just a matter of time. And, you got to give credit to their AD Kraft for, making a call instead of just waiting and letting this get worse. And, I mean, the fan base was so out on James Franklin that it just did not feel repairable. And this, when you lose the fan base completely and you lose the donor base, which is what happened with Mike Gundy, you're going to have a very hard time keeping your job. And it just gotten to a point where everything was so toxic. The team was so broken. Drew, their quarterback's out for the year. Mm-hmm. They had to make the move. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to go try to, I think they're going to aim high. I've heard some crazy names out there. I don't think that's going to happen. Matt Rule seems like the most likely and logical candidate. Kraft and Rule were together at Temple when Rule was the coach there. They're very close. Matt Rule, I've had many people say, like Penn State, he's an alum. That's his dream job. I think that, if they make some early calls and realize they're not getting Marcus Freeman or, Ryan Day or, whoever else you want to throw out there, that it's going to, I think, eventually, and they'll call Cignetti too, I bet. But Matt Rule feels like where this is headed, which is a huge bummer for Nebraska. Say what you will about the job he's done there, but Nebraska just can't really get over the hump themselves. And, they're finally having a decent year. And,
mm-hmm.
If they lost their coach, that would be to Penn State. I think a program they think that they're on the same plane with, even though they're not. That would be very tough for them. But, Penn State's ready to make the kind of investment that Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State is making. And now they got to find the coach that can put it all together and help them get over this inability to win big games, which I think when they lost to Oregon, Bo, the bottom just fell out. It's like everybody in the Big Ten is replacing quarterbacks. Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Indiana, go down the list. This is our year. And if it's not this year, then when? And it quickly became like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and it then becomes that question. It's interesting you brought up the Nebraska thing because we did this yesterday on the show. Like, will Penn State be the best job that's open this year? And so it currently is. It's the best job that's open right now. But if Florida comes open, is that better? You've been over there. You know what selling that program is. I think that's why everybody goes to Rule. Obviously, all the connections, and you're right on all of that. And I think it's going to be a little bit like Roy Williams at North Carolina. Like, would Matt Rule leave Nebraska for anywhere? No, but he's being called home. And so can you really say no to home? And my hunch is he probably won't. But the bigger question of how good of a job is Penn State, and if you were Kraft and you were making this hire, what type of coach would you hire over there?
Well, I mean, I think, Cignetti is got to be everybody's first call. I mean, what he's done at Indiana, forget year one. Like, he brought some transfers over from JMU, caught lightning in a bottle. Nobody saw them coming, got Curtis Rourke from Ohio. And, when we got to the playoff, like, they were overmatched a little bit. When they played Ohio State, they were overmatched. Yeah. But it's still like an unbelievable season. Indiana never won 10 games before, but now you look at Indiana, it's like, that team, is that the best team in the country? We might find out in the Big Ten championship game when they play Ohio State. For them to go to Oregon and kind of push them around, and they threw a pick six and still won the game. I mean, that was super impressive. So, whoever you are, like, that's the coach you got to call first, in terms of like somebody you could get, who's presumably, semi-realistic. How good a job is Penn State? Is it the job that Cignetti leaves for? I don't know. I get the sense that he probably wouldn't. So then, like, what job would he leave for? I don't know.
He's 64.
I know. He might just be.
He might just stay.
He might be. Yeah. Like, that's. If it were me and I was 64, like, why would I go somewhere where I might get fired in 3 years?
Right. And they got
you'll get fired at Penn State.
Yeah, absolutely. Their NIL folks are all locked in. Cubans helping out. Like, they got Mendoza in the portal. Like, they're a football school.
Yeah. And then, Nebraska, Matt Campbell feels like a name to watch with that program. Is kind of some of the same names we've seen at some of these bigger openings. So, like, Florida, what happens at Florida? I mean, Wisconsin is probably going to come open here pretty soon. They play Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. I mean, like,
dude, in a year where he also had to play Alabama.
Yeah, definitely. Does Auburn come open again? But I think Penn State, like, there's so many tough programs in the SEC, at least in the Big Ten, and regionally speaking, you've got Ohio State, Michigan, that's it. And so, like, can you compete with those schools? I think Penn State can. I think they can do that. So, yeah, I think it's the best opening, and I think it probably, no matter what else happens elsewhere, I think it's going to remain the best opening.
I think you're right. I think you're right on that, buddy. Appreciate you as always, pal. We'll do it again next week. Thanks for your time.
All right. See you, Bo.
There he goes, Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN, joining on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show, it's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com. And we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
An incredible night of firsts.
Are you kidding me? Fox Tonight is TV's most epic game night.
I'm Rob Lowe. This is The Floor.
And the competition soars to new heights.
It is an entirely new game.
Then on 99 to beat.
Ref, can I get a ref?
Ken, there's tension out there.
3 players' $1 million dreams come down to a photo finish.
We don't know who's eliminated. We got to look back at the tape.
My heart is racing.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Love football, love wings. Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Byrne live at Roosters.
Presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fans YouTube channel.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. It's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance. Because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Week 7 in the NFL begins tomorrow night in Cincinnati. It'll feature two quarterbacks who are on the other side of 40 in 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers and 40-year-old Joe Flacco. It'll mark only the second time ever that two quarterbacks aged 40 or up will start against each other in an NFL game. During Rodgers' media availability on Tuesday, 36-year-old Cam Hayward stopped by to give the game a perfect title.
Oldest quarterback's playing this week. Let's go. Woo! Icy hot ball. I love it.
On Tuesday, Rodgers told Steelers.com, quote, "I think it's great for all the old guys. I know that when I watch other sports, maybe because I'm the older guy, but I tend to pull for the old guys to win championships." Thing or not a thing?
I mean, it's a really cool thing that they're. I'm really happy for Joe that he gets to play with this receiving core and that they get to have that. He's just such a great dude. It's going to be cool to see. Also, probably speaks to the fact that there just aren't enough quality quarterbacks around because. You know, this version of Joe Flacco is clearly not what he was a while ago. This version of Aaron Rodgers is clearly not what he was a while ago. He missed DK Metcalf, who was open by a dozen yards in the game on Sunday, a layup for him 5 years ago that you just, he's a man, he's 40 now. These things happen. So it'll be a fun game on Thursday night, but it's obviously some of it is the fact that there just aren't enough good quarterbacks bouncing around.
That's a funny thing from Hayward, especially who's 36 years old and towards the end of his career, probably. I think they should lean into it, right? Like Reese and I were talking. Let's have some wheelchairs there, wheel them out onto the field with those when we're doing introductions. Let's really lean into it. But no, it's a cool thing and a testament to these guys, right, for being able to condition their body and stay healthy enough and physically able enough to play this game at a high level. I know it's not like the 70s and 80s when quarterbacks were taking shots. I know they don't take shots like they used to, but the fact that these guys that can continue to do it at a high level, especially when all of sports and the NFL have gone younger, is just a testament to how good these guys are.
Is Cam Hayward the next Buckeye Gold Jacket?
Probably.
Am I missing somebody?
Yeah, I would think it's probably him.
I think he's a Gold Jacket. Gradishar went in, last year?
Yes.
Malcolm Jenkins is probably not a Gold Jacket guy.
Because he would be the next eligible.
Logically. All right, so what you need for Canton is you need all pros. So 2-time Super Bowl champ, just a 1-time All-Pro for Malcolm, just 3 Pro Bowls. Probably not a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
For what it's worth, Drew Brees and Tom Brady met a couple times in the 2020 season, and that was the other time all-time a pair of teams had 40-year-old quarterbacks playing in the same NFL game. Friend of the program, Ben Koo of Awful Announcing, speculated yesterday Ohio State's November 1st matchup with Penn State might not be a big noon kick, as Ross Bjork made it seem a few months ago. If you remember back in August, Bjork told WOSU, quote, Fox, they love the Buckeyes, and big noon is a big deal. They've invested in that time slot, so we'll presume it's a 12 noon kickoff. It was also announced that contest is going to be a wear black game. Ben said yesterday that weekend features a growingly attractive matchup between USC visiting Nebraska, with both teams now 5-1 and ranked. So what'll actually shake out here? First, Fox doesn't need to make the pick until early next week and perhaps could even wait until the following week. Nebraska has to go to Minnesota, USC's an underdog on the road at Notre Dame, and Penn State's an underdog at Iowa. If Nebraska and USC win next weekend and Penn State loses, the likelihood of USC-Nebraska getting the nod over Ohio State-Penn State goes way up. End quote. Thing or not a thing?
I think Ben's great. Love his site. I don't think he's right on this, though. I don't think they would move off of Ohio State, Penn State for anything. That's not what Fox is about. Fox is about the guaranteed ratings, and they're going to get them with Ohio State, Penn State. They're absolutely going to get them. So one other thing I would say, and I know it's already been established as a wear black game, as someone who was at the stripe game for Ohio State, Ohio, if you're going to do a wear something game for Ohio State, do a wear gray game or wear scarlet. Then you'll get it done. If you tell everybody to wear scarlet, fine. Wear black. No one's buying new stuff. Everybody's got a red hoodie. So my advice is go scarlet out on that one.
Yeah, I don't even think you can do wear gray. It has to be wear scarlet. They've done the blackout before, and I think it was decent. I think there's quite a bit of Ohio State stuff out there in black. But, if you're going to do it, you have to provide it. Unless it's scarlet, you have to provide it. I think Ben's wrong here, too. Now, what if USC upsets Notre Dame and Penn State gets boat raced by Iowa, which I don't know if they'd get boat raced, but if Iowa beats them by a couple touchdowns, maybe this is looking more likely, but I just don't think Fox is going to go away from Ohio State. Ohio State has been their cash cow here the past couple years, and I think they want to have Ohio State on as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at Nebraska. Their game against Minnesota is Friday night at 8 o'clock, and then there's Northwestern. So Nebraska probably will be, 7-1 for that matchup against USC, but it's Ohio State.
I still don't think it matters.
And the eyeballs of Penn State draws are just so much so that it would have to be a ridiculous game between USC and Notre Dame for it to even, I think, be at real consideration. This was from earlier in the week, but Oklahoma's Brent Venables said the SEC admitted an officiating mistake and the Red River can't call it a shootout. With Texas leading 13-6 early in the fourth, Texas returned a punt 75 yards for a touchdown, but replays showed that there should have been a block in the back on that touchdown. On Monday, Venables revealed that Oklahoma sent a written objection to the SEC about that play. Thing or not a thing?
Not a thing, because I think you could look at every play in every NFL game, and if you wanted to call holding, or if you wanted to call illegal hands to the face, or if you wanted to call block in the back, I think there's something on every call. This isn't a thing. Win the game.
So this is not a thing in the fact that, you can call holding on every play, right? You can go back and look, and you can find a penalty on every single play. What is a thing here, especially if you are the SEC and you are going to come out and admit that our officials made a mistake, we need to have some reprimands. There needs to be some discipline, and we need to know about it. And if certain ref gets so many, or certain officiating crews get so many strikes, you're out of here. If you're going to come out and say we messed this up, then you need to hold these guys accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real quick, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said Tua Tagovailoa's comments after their last loss were misguided, adding his post-game news conference was not the forum to air concerns or grievances with his teammates. So this was Tua shortly after Miami's 29-27 loss to the Chargers, asked about how players are going to avoid feeling sorry for themselves this week.
Well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. There's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
Thing or not a thing?
Well, wouldn't he be leadership?
Yeah.
So I think that's where Mike McDaniel's coming from. That thing's a mess.
And I think this is probably Tua's way of trying to show leadership. He came from a program where things weren't willy-nilly like this. No. And it sure seems like Mike McDaniel is on his way out of Miami sooner than later.
Well, the Dolphins will be at the Browns Sunday at 1 o'clock. You can hear that game with coverage Sunday morning at 11.
There you go. We'll do a little Hey Guys final hour on a First Friday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Realtors usually charge you 6% to sell your house, but not my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They take 1%. It's in the name. And this is full service. No shortcuts, no for sale by owner crapola. They do it all. Call 614-451-6616.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day. My sinks gurgle, they barely drain. The toilet overflowed. I plunge all day with no luck. What's wrong with this commode?
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Columbus, October is here, and with good weather comes more home improvement projects. Do you have old, stuck, or cracked windows that you've been putting off replacing? Well, Window Nation Columbus can help. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free. There's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. With Window Nation, you also won't have to make any payments for 2 years, which is a big deal with the holiday season coming up. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game? What other company in Columbus would thank you for replacing all your windows in your home with a fun experience like that? Put an end to your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends. Now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free now, plus pay nothing for 2 years with Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit windownation.com today to start your free estimate. That's windownation.com. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Make your Halloween a good deal spookier at Meijer with frighteningly good low prices. To celebrate my favorite holiday of the year, get 25% off costumes for you and your little creatures. Select fun-sized bag candy is only $9.99. Indoor party decorations and throws are also 25% off. Perfect for turning your home into a chillingly fun, spooky house. The selection and savings at Meijer are enough to make you go wonderfully batty. You see what I did there? Batty? Halloween at Meijer. Always a ghoulishly good deal better.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State's at Wisconsin this Saturday. It'll be a 3:30 kick from Madison. Buckeyes are more than 3 touchdown favorites. You'll hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, Week 7 begins tomorrow night in Cincinnati. The 2-4 Bengals host the 4-1 Steelers at 8:15. That game will be only the second time in NFL history featuring 2 40-year-old starting quarterbacks. Sunday at 1, the Browns will host the Dolphins. On the ice, the Blue Jackets will host the Avalanche tomorrow night at 7. You can hear that one on the Fan with coverage Thursday at 6:30. In baseball tonight, the Mariners host the Blue Jays in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Seattle leads Toronto in the best-of-7, 2 games to none. This update is sponsored by Green & Sons, family-owned and operated for over 45 years. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville in Raymond.
Recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Yeah, winner here gets that $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank. Free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
We'll start on Twitter. We can also take your Hey Guys on the YouTube chat live and in real time. if they're appropriate to read. C-Bus Huddy on Twitter asks, hey guys, senior at Ohio State and some friends and I are starting a tradition to hit every Big Ten stadium. Heading up to Wisconsin this weekend for our first one, and I wanted to ask, what's been your favorite or least favorite experience as an away fan at a sporting event?
At any sporting event, well, the coolest thing, the most satisfying thing is when you're at the big house and OHIO makes its way around that place and the Buckeye victory is in hand. That's a pretty satisfying feeling is when that tracks. That's always a win. My favorite place to go to a road game in the Big Ten is Penn State. And it's crazy because it overcomes the drive, which is brutal, the hotel you're staying at, which is a disaster, the fact that it's impossible to get in and out of, and all of the things. But it's a pretty cool spot. It's a really cool spot. So, but OHIO bouncing around the big house is pretty undefeated.
So I've had a couple great times in Nashville for Jackets games. Had a blast up in Detroit. But my most fun experience ever as an away fan was 2014, going over to Game 1 of the Jackets-Pens playoff series.
Yeah.
And just having the time of my life over there, going back and forth with some of their fans. I remember the Jackets got up early in that one, and I was feeling pretty chesty. And I started chanting because their backup goalie in that series was Vo Kuhn. And one of their fans turned around and said Vo Kuhn was hurt and he was not playing. And I said, actually, you guys activated him today and he's your backup. And one of their other fans said, yeah, shut up. Quit talking to him if you don't even know who our own goalie is. And it was pretty fun that they, were like, hey, he knows your team more than you do. And then the tables turned and they ended up winning. So I had to eat some crow with some of those fans. But we had a blast. It was such a fun time.
So 2007, as a senior in high school, my dad and I went up to Ann Arbor for that Ohio State-Michigan game where Vernon Golston lived in the Wolverines' backfield. So that was really cool to actually have, as you had mentioned, OHIO going around the big house, which is a stinky stadium. It's a hole in the ground that they just tried to shove at one point. Some engineer, probably a Michigan man, because, better than the rest, thought we're just going to dig a hole in the ground and shove as many people into it as possible.
That's what they did.
Like, sir, are you discussing, you mean a sports stadium or are you talking about a grave? Because both of those things are dig a hole in the ground, shove as many people in as possible. I had an experience in 2012, I believe it was, the baseball season, going to New Yankee Stadium as a Guardians fan, and I think Cleveland got beat 20-2. And so that wasn't great because Yankees fans, famously are the worst.
It's a great stadium, though.
We'll go to the YouTube chat for our next one. Joe asks, hey guys, if you could add any two players to the Browns roster from another NFL team, who would it be, and do you think that this would propel them to the playoffs?
So I got to take two Browns players and put them on a team that's already good?
No,
I mean, all you got to do is, if Burrow's healthy in Cincinnati, go Denzel and Miles. Is that what we're doing?
So
I thought it was
players from the rest of the league onto this current Browns roster.
Onto the Browns roster? Josh Allen. Problem solved.
Do you have another one you want to add?
Oh, you
can add another.
I don't know. Pick somebody off their offensive line who can play tackle competitively. I mean, just give me a quarterback, and I think you're fine.
This is easy for me. Patrick Mahomes, Jamar Chase. Let's go.
Oh, you're going off of, you were taking somebody off of each of two different teams.
You get two players from the league.
Oh, I thought it had to be off of one team.
Sure, you could.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then fine. Yeah, then yeah, that's that. There you go.
That's who
Justin,
I want.
I'll be different. I'll be Justin Jefferson and Josh Allen.
That works too.
I'm wondering, would Penei Sewell and Will Campbell, the left tackle of the Patriots, help?
No, not unless you had the quarterback.
Yeah, I need a quarterback in here.
I have to have a quarterback. That's it.
Dustin,
everything else I can work with.
In the YouTube chat, Dustin asks, hey guys, I know this feels unlikely this year, but how much would you pay per ticket to attend an Ohio State-Michigan playoff or national title game?
I wouldn't want to go.
Same.
I wouldn't want to go. Now, if you're guaranteed victory,
pay like $20.
Then fine, but no, I wouldn't. I would want to be for big games. I am in a bunker right? I mean, I need silence and locked in focus. I can't be dealing with people going to the bathroom and I can't do it. I like it locked in. Now, I really still enjoy going to a game in the press box. I still like that with the nice views and all the things that come with that. But yeah, if Ohio State ever plays Michigan in a national semifinal or a championship or for the Big Ten championship, that is going to be a bunker in approach. That's going to be kindly leave silence.
Bo, I'm the same way. We've talked about this. Like, I watched the 0-2 national championship game by myself, nobody else around. Now, part of that was because my buddies that I would usually watch games with back then were at the national championship game.
Sure.
But I'm very particular about where I watch games I care about. This is also tough because if I really want to go to this, I'm just going to apply for a press pass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go that way. I've also never been somebody who pays a lot to go to sporting events. Like, so if this is getting up over $100, I'm out. Like, I'm just not that person. Like, I don't want to pay that much for an experience like that when you can watch it at home and it might be a better experience. I know being there in person is awesome, but...
So don't make the mistake I did and promise your kids that if they play so many seasons of travel basketball that you'll take them to a blue blood for a college basketball game like I did with NBC a couple of years ago and paid out my nose to sit courtside at Kentucky, and I'm going to have to do it again this March. So the only game we can go to for Beamsy with Kansas is Senior Day against Kansas State. So that won't be an expensive ticket, I'm sure, at Fog Allen.
Chris in the YouTube chat asks, hey guys, going to the kids' school for parent-teacher conference, is there a memorable conference you had as a parent or as a student with the parents coming to the school?
Oh my God. As a parent, it's crazy. Like, luckily our kids, I'm never nervous about them. And most of the times the teachers, because they're still young enough, most of the teachers just say, yeah, you're good. Like in our district, like once you get to a certain age, as long as the kid's doing the right things, you don't even have conferences. They're like, yeah, they got A's, they're good. You're good. So I never worry about it with ours. It was easily among the more nervy days of my youth, though, because let's just say your Uncle Bo didn't apply himself always. And that was something it was parent-teacher conference day. Oh, God. And then it was sit down at the table with mom and dad, and we're going to have a little chat about why little Bo doesn't apply himself. Like, it was a steady diet of that as a kid. So that was a very nervy day for me.
Back in elementary school, when we had parent-teacher conferences still, I feel like I was a pretty good kid back then. I didn't start going wayward until I was a little older, so none of that is any memorable to me. I will say this. One thing that always stuck out to me, I don't know if you guys did this, we had Grandparents' Day at school in elementary school, and I was lucky enough to have 8 grandparents until I was 13. I had all 4 of my grandparents, and then I had 4 great-grandparents as well. So I remember having 8 grandparents one day at Grandparents' Day. That was pretty cool.
That's wild. Here's one. Go ahead, Reese.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, because we do need to pick a winner, but Ace asks, hey guys, it's a Halloween season. So growing up, what was the best and worst candy that was given out when you were trick-or-treaters? He adds, kids don't Almond Joy or Mounds. And he's right.
Yeah, kids are idiots. Almond Joy is a spectacular candy. I will give you the true answer to that at the beginning of the next segment. I did want to get this one in, too, because Snagglepuss said on social, has Uncle Bo paid NBC his $500 yet? No, you want to know what I did? So this was, he bet me $500 and somebody skied down Everest, and I'm like, no chance, you're on. And then somebody did. So I was trying to get out of it on a technicality, but then I pivoted to, now all of a sudden he's acting like he's a Carolina Panthers fan just to annoy me. And so he's like, I'll bet you $50 the Panthers make the playoffs. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you your 500, double or nothing, they don't. And then they beat Dallas. And I'm going, my God, if the Carolina flipping Panthers make the postseason and I got to pay this little punk $1,000 on 2 of the most absurd bets of all time, it's bad parenting on me.
You know, I've been looking for a new NFL team to root for. I think it just may be the Carolina Panthers now.
You're a villain on all fronts, Bake.
Keep pounding, baby.
I love it.
Jeez.
Love it. Go Cats.
Jeez, it's awful. Just awful. Who was the one early? There's a one early that I enjoyed about was it the Road Sporting event?
Yeah, C-Bus Huddy.
C-Bus Huddy. Was he a senior, he said?
Yes, at Ohio State.
So then he can't he's old enough. He can afford the fruits of his labor. You're the big winner. You get the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It's located right here in town. Stop by High Bank's 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville. Enjoy those award-winning spirits for your next happy hour. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. We'll answer the Halloween question. Also, college football at the halfway point. What are we getting right? What did we get so wrong? We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
You know what my favorite place is to watch a game? The ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I are throwing a huge party for the Thursday night Steelers-Bengals game. We have tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the game at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Amazing food, huge screens and prizes. That's a winning parlay. Can't wait to see you Thursday night. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Country music's biggest selling superstar, Luke Combs, presents My Kinda Saturday Night Tour.
Sounds like my kind of Saturday night.
Luke Combs, live in concert in Columbus, playing at Ohio Stadium, Saturday, April 25th, with special guests Dierks Bentley, Ty Myers, Jake Worthington, and Thelma and James. Register now for the pre-sale at lukecombs.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease a new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE for just $189 a month. You heard it, $189. Plus get owner assurance and America's best warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Only at Great Lakes Hyundai, Columbus or Dublin, or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 10 miles per year, ends 11/3.
At Giant Eagle, we're focused on quality, freshness, and all your favorites. Because meals bring us together. Because recipes keep traditions alive. Because the right ingredients make it or break it. Because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
Friday night can only mean one thing: the Capital Ford High School football game of the week.
This week, Bloom Carroll at Hamilton Township.
Live coverage starts Friday at 6:30. Your home of Friday Night Lights, The Fan.
All month long at Twin Peaks, celebrate National Dessert Month with sweet endings like our Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cheesecake topped with rum chata sauce, or the Twin Peaks Sundae with a warm Ghirardelli brownie. Pair it with a Screwball peanut butter whiskey for the ultimate game day finish. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies for us on this Wednesday with afternoon highs getting up right around 70 degrees. But we will get mostly clear tonight and cooler with overnight lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, though, we will have plenty of sunshine taking control, but it will be a little bit chillier with our afternoon highs only getting in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
League title playoff implications are on the line in the Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week. Hamilton Township hosts Bloom Carroll this Friday night. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the kick at 7. After the game, it's Byers, Subaru, Dublin, overtime with Bacon Lee. Friday nights are for high school football on The Fan. What was the question? It was about Halloween candy, the perfect Halloween candy?
Yeah, what was your favorite getting as a kid, and what's the perfect to give out?
Well, the one that was my favorite as a kid. So there were two things, and I don't think either one of these things even exists anymore. I haven't seen it with our kids trick-or-treating through the years. There was an old lady in Conrad, Montana, who would cook homemade chocolate glazed donuts. And when she was out, she was out. But there would be a line around the block to get your hands on these suckers. So those were it. And then the other thing, a lot of the women out there baked when I was a kid. They would bake like the Halloween giveaway. And so they would do like the best caramel popcorn balls you've ever had in your life that were spectacular. So I remember those two things vividly. In terms of what I look most forward to, let's just be selfish. I love the baby mini Snickers. When the boys get those, I go through and just take them, and then I put all those in the freezer. Those babies go in the freezer. So those are my favorite. Any kid doesn't want an Almond Joy, I got that too. I'm on it. I also think Reese's Pieces are better than Reese's Cups. I think they're superior. So those are my big candy takes on the Halloween front. What was your guys' favorite you got as a kid?
Ditto on the Snickers. I think that's just the ultimate candy bar.
Yeah.
I also liked the Laffy Taffies, and what I would do, because I was a fat kid, but I like to think of myself as a thinking man's fat kid, is where I would save some of the ones that you could have in kind of any that wouldn't expire or that you wouldn't worry about, like, and then just save those in different areas, like of my room, away from my brother, maybe in my book bag, and that you wouldn't also worry about them getting like smushed too much because they're already kind of flat.
So my favorite candy bars have always been Reese Cups or Snickers. So you can't go wrong with that. My buddy's dad gives away full-size candy bars.
Yeah.
Big win on that if you're giving away full-size stuff. And if you give out candy corn, go to hell.
Yeah, that's not real at all. That's nonsense.
Disgusting.
My wife buys that for like decoration. She puts it in bins as like decoration is that stuff. The only thing with the full candy bar is you're going to be left with a lot of Hershey's at the end because those all come in like those big bags from Costco. And they're always mixed in there. And the problem is the kids reach in there and nobody wants the Hershey's, which, you know, you got the s'mores. There's some versatility there, but it's usually well down the candy draft.
I always see those at the supermarket, like the mixed, like Mr. Good Bar and the Hershey's and the Hershey Special Dark. And I think to myself, who's buying those?
I love a Mr. Good Bar.
Yeah, but are you buying the variety bag?
Dude, who's even used to be? I mean, this is a classic, but like when I'm probably even you, Reese, is much younger as you are. But like when we were all kids and you go to the grocery store and you'd see like every candy bar on the planet in the checkout line, like stuff you'd never even seen before. Like I think of my dad's favorite candy bar was a whatchamacallit. And he would almost always have one of them around. Like he would have them like after lunch, he'd have a whatchamacallit bar. I don't even know if they still make a whatchamacallit bar. I have no idea. They still do that.
I think they do. I think
do
you can
they?
still get a whatchamacallit.
It's a delicious treat. I haven't had one in years. I wonder if it still holds up. There's a store. There are a couple of grocery store chains that still have like that'll do like the classic candy aisle, where like everything you had as a kid is still being made, and even stuff that like your grandparents had. Like there's every once in a while I see like a Beeman's gum or a Clove gum, like that type of stuff, and you think to yourself, well, when was that manufactured? Are they still manufacturing that, or is that just from 30 years ago? It's been on a shelf.
They're also, I see these all over the place, even at stores that, I think like REI even has them, like those gigantic candy bars that look, and I forget what the name is of them, but they look like Willy Wonka chocolate bars. And
Yeah. It's
like Tony's Chocolatier.
Yeah,
I want to
like
say
massive, almost look like a license plate.
And I think they've come out with smaller versions of those. Do you notice those in any of your kids' bags?
No. It's funny you said what you said, though, about how you did it, Reese, because that's what Beamsy does.
Uh-huh.
Beamsy will hide it everywhere in places.
Little stashes.
He'll have little stashes everywhere to keep it away. Like the other two just go through it in a week. He'll be pulling stuff out of corners of his room in February.
Smart kid.
Yeah, that's always how his operate. I'm like, where'd you get that? The other thing is you hit on the Laffy Taffy. That's something that you get at Halloween that you don't get any other time of the year, is like the Nerds, Laffy Taffy, all that realm, the sour stuff.
Yeah.
You never even see that other than Halloween.
Another variety box that I go, who's buying that?
Yeah.
Beamsy's like your grandparents that have money
Yes.
hid all over the house.
It's an
Like
old
somehow
soul.
she walks out of the kitchen and grandma's got a 20 that wasn't there before. Like, here you go.
It's so funny
Where
you
the
say
hell
that,
was
dude.
that?
He does exactly that with his money, too. He never spends it.
Got a Folgers
The other
can.
two, as soon as they get it, gone, spent. Him, it'll sit. He's got... I went up there and go, God, how much money do you got? He's basically kept like all of his birthday money he's gotten since he was a little kid. He's never spent any of it. He's just got all this cash. He's like Pablo Escobar.
Smart doing, you taking your gambling winnings, you're putting them in your mattress. Government can't tax that. Have any of you had a Zero bar?
I have.
I remember those back in the day.
Never heard of this thing.
So it's in a silver blue, two-tone blue, like a royal light blue. It's a white chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's got like a nougat.
I do
would say.
remember that. I don't remember, I couldn't tell you what it tastes like, but I remember those from back in the day.
Yeah. It's a white chocolate one. That's another one. That's another one of those ones that I assume they still make it, but that's one that would show up on the rotation every once in a while.
Where are you guys on a payday?
I mean, here's the only thing with the payday is, to me, it's inferior to the salted nut roll.
Yeah.
Which I prefer. So if I'm in that realm,
Which Man and Timmy will agree with you on that.
they're salted nut roll guys.
They love those.
Yeah, you don't see them very often. They're not around as much. The paydays are there much more. I enjoy a payday, but the salted nut roll that's payday on steroids. It's a different animal entirely. Totally different ask. It's an elevated experience.
I need to find one of those.
You don't see them much. You don't see the salted nut rolls much. My wife adores a Kit Kat or a Twix. She's big on both of those, and those are both very, very good. But I do miss, you don't see the variety as much. Most people just get like that. Here's the thing that it's crazy that you're going to see a ton of in a couple of weeks. You will see an exorbitant amount of Three Musketeers and Milky Way.
Why?
What are we doing? Like, no one wants that. No one's going for those two things, man. Like, there's a million candy bars. There's not a kid on the planet that's reaching for a Milky Way or a Three Musketeers. Don't put those in the same bag in the variety pack.
I wonder if those are the
I run from those two.
Least expensive option.
No, they're in that bag with the Snickers and the M&Ms and they're all in that bag. And so you end up with them.
I've never understood the appeal of a Milky Way.
No.
Other than it being chocolate, and there's nothing wrong with chocolate, but
I don't hate it, but yeah, it's like last pick.
Yeah, no one's picking it.
It's the last kid picked in the dodgeball tournament.
Absolutely.
Do a good Halloween candy bracket.
Yeah, well, you could do that pretty quick. That'd be an easy one to knock out. And I think you got Twix, Kit Kat, Snickers, and peanut M&Ms as the 4 1 seeds, and then you go from there. I think we just did it. What did we get right in our preseason college football prognostications? What are we getting dead wrong? We will get to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on all Halloween candy. You can save 33% with your digital coupon. Selection varies by store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Let's face it, repairing or replacing your roof is a big decision. It's an investment in your home, your safety, and your peace of mind. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? How do you know your investment will be in good hands? Since 1992, Newman Roofing has been the family-owned company homeowners have relied on. We understand that roofing projects can be stressful. That's why we built our company around you, offering a white glove experience designed to make your roofing project as smooth and easy as possible. At Newman Roofing, we focus on the details because the details matter. Our craftsmanship, attention to quality, and commitment to service are second to none. Why? Because when your name is on it, it just means more. Your roof isn't just another project. It's our promise to deliver the very best. So, as the cooler weather approaches, don't wait. Get your Newman roof while there's still time this fall. Call us today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Treat yourself to a new ride from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% on a new 25 Kia EV6 or 26 EV9, or get up to 11 grand off MSRP. Get 1.9% on a new 25 Telluride during the Kia Fall Sales Event. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Based on 2024 retail sales, 0% for 60 months and 1.9% for 48 months equals 1667 and 2165 for 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. Manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Ends 10/31/25.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, we're halfway home, guys, of the regular season. Remember, we had that realization last year, Reese, when we said, my God, if you're going to win the national title, the halfway point is the Penn State game?
Yep.
8 games in. November is the actual halfway.
When we're in 3 months away from a national championship.
Isn't that crazy when you have that type of realization? What we've gotten is straight chaos, quite honestly. I don't think if you were to go back into my headspace in August, if I would have thought that by the time we got to the middle of October and Ohio State going to Wisconsin, I would feel so strongly about where this Buckeye team is. I knew that this Buckeye team had a very high ceiling. I certainly did not have this defense being this dominant right away with 8 new starters. I knew the talent was there. I trusted the coaching, absolutely. Needed to see what Patricia did in terms of putting him in a position to succeed, but he's done that in spades. And if you were to do this conversation like we did with all of our college football preview stuff that we did all the way through the summer and through August, you would have come back to some familiar names that we do not see, that are absent, like Texas, like Clemson, like Penn State. Those are 3 preseason top 5 teams, including the preseason number 1 team in the country. And they're hanging on by a thread only because they're in the SEC and they're the Texas brand or they ranked. There's nothing that would rank them other than that. They looked brutal for the entire month of September and had a brutal loss at Florida. They got one nice win against Oklahoma, but that's it. But they're in the 20s. The rest of them are gone, vaporized, off the grid. I mean, the idea that James Franklin is fired. You want to talk about chaos? James Franklin is fired. It's October 15th. That was the preseason number 2 team in the country. That was the team that mimicked what Ohio State did last year, or attempted to, and thought that they were going to have their championship.
Not only
and he's gone.
Not only preseason number 2, but they were ranked 3rd in the country 3 weeks ago.
So life comes at you fast in this stuff, and there's so many factors that are leading to it, and leading to those making changes. A lot of it has to do with that portal that's coming, the recruiting that's coming. Can you afford to let things fall off? And I think that's how the Franklin thing happened. Then you got to have people willing to write big checks. I certainly didn't have Miami as this good. Miami was a show-me state team. We needed to see it, but they are. They're legitimate. And what's different for them and Indiana, which are the 2 kind of surprises, I think, so far this season, is that both Miami and Indiana, they're up to the task in the trenches. both of those teams will play bully ball with you on the offense and defensive lines of scrimmage, and that's why, to me, both of those teams have staying power. Of the teams that fell on their face, honestly, the one that to me is the most shocking, just in terms of the way that it's looked, is Texas. It's not Penn State. Am I surprised Penn State lost to UCLA and Northwestern? Of course. Am I surprised Penn State lost to Oregon? No. Am I shocked if they would have had another loss along the way? No, because that's what James Franklin's been as a program, and that's why they made the move off of him. Same thing with Dabo at Clemson. We're a long way from Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson and all of that with Clemson. Certainly like the makeup of their team, but you could tell week one against LSU that offensively they had some real major issues they were going to have to get over. Texas is the one that's shocking to me. They were, if you were to say at the beginning of the year, you can have Ohio State, Texas. I mean, Ohio State, Texas, the field would have been an interesting conversation to have, because I think a lot of people felt pretty strongly about those two. But the way that it's looked for Texas, even this win against Oklahoma, it's not gangbusters. Offensively, it's a bit of a mess. They still don't throw the ball down the field at all. Their defense, which has been supposed to be so vaunted and up to the task with Ohio State's, it has not been. They have given their flowers. They had a nice moment in the Red River Shootout, but I think many more losses are coming for the Texas Longhorns this season. So it just goes to show you how off you can be on all this stuff.
Well, and I just think how wild it is to even try to predict it. It's a fun game to play. But with like the quarterbacks for those three teams, for Aller, Klubnik, Arch, were supposed to be three of the top names you heard next April. And I would be shocked if you heard any of them. Like they'll be drafted, obviously, Aller and Klubnik will, but Friday, Saturday, when you're not really paying much attention to the NFL draft at that point, Arch will likely stay another year at Texas. Not so surprising, I think, for the beginning of the season from us is when we talked about the Ohio State-Texas matchup was how we would find Texas struggling on the offensive side of the ball. And that's really on the offensive line, I should say. And that's what's been the worst part for them. And I think one of the key maybe one of the key reasons. I don't know if it's the key reason for Arch's inconsistencies and just lack of success, but they're not able to protect him. I don't think he's where people thought he was going to be, even at the beginning of the season. But Texas is still a team that's alive, and so there's still hope you have because of Red River.
Yeah, Texas is still alive, but they can't afford a slip up, right? No. They've got some games they could slip up on here with Vanderbilt at Georgia, and then wrapping it up with Texas A&M. I think the thing with Texas to me is just how it hasn't looked right.
No.
You thought it would look right, and it just hasn't looked right. And that Florida loss to me is baffling because I thought this Texas defense, and maybe they were just looking ahead to Red River, I don't know, but I thought this Texas defense would put that Florida offense in knots, which a lot of teams have this year, and they did not. DJ Lagway probably had his best game of the year against Texas, so that was just really weird to me. Obviously, for me, the one that I got so terribly wrong was Clemson. I thought Clemson was going to be really good this year because of everything they had coming back. And you look at Mel Kiper's big board, he's got 3 of their defensive players in his top 20 with the 2 defensive linemen and Terrell, the cornerback. And there's just nothing there for Clemson. And listen, maybe they're going to go on a run here and make it to an ACC championship game somehow. I don't think they will because it just hasn't looked right for them. But I was very bullish on them. I thought they were going to be really good this year, and they weren't. On the flip side, Bo, I think you and I both were very high on Washington, very high on Oklahoma, and for the most part, they performed. Who knows if Mateer didn't get hurt, how Red River would have looked with him being healthy and not having the thumb injury. And I think the other team that I talked about that I thought would be pretty good is Illinois, and they had the crazy loss that got away to them from Indiana, but Indiana's really good and Ohio State's really good, and that's their 2 losses. I guess we'll see this week when they take on Washington.
Yeah. I mean, that's so Washington's at
or is that
Michigan.
next week?
Washington's at
next week. It's Washington.
Washington's
Sorry.
got. I mean, we'll find out if our Huskies deserve the praise we're giving them because they've got
they're big news.
Michigan this week, and then they're back home for Illinois. Is that their next two?
Correct. Illinois is on a bye this week. Then they travel out to Washington the following week.
Yeah. So that is a massive 2-game stretch for Washington to validate what we believe in them, because we just saw Michigan play USC and we saw how that went. You know, and the other thing about Michigan is, and this is why they're out there and they're still a little concerning. I do think if they get ahead on you, they're a problem. If they have to chase, then they have problems. But if they get ahead of you with Haynes running, then they're a little bit of a problem. I do think with Clemson and Penn State, as you're talking about both of those teams, and I mentioned this through the offseason, Clemson got a lot of credit based on playing competitively in Austin last year. There's a lot of credit given to that. And they had a nice season, but they had multiple losses that year. They kind of backdoored their way in. They beat SMU in the ACC title game to get in, and they got in. And then they played very competitively in Austin. Conversely, I think Penn State maybe got a bit of false hope based on the fact that they played in the college football playoff, without remembering that their path was my beloved Ponies in a frigid game, and then Boise State. Like, their path to the semifinal, they didn't have to play Tennessee and Oregon to get there. They had to play Boise State and SMU at home. And I think that gave maybe an inflated view of it. I think the other big theme, guys, this year is this was supposed to be the quarterback class. This was Nussmeier and Klubnik and all of these guys that we, Arch Manning, if he comes out, he's going number 1 overall. Well, that ain't it. But there's even more of them. And a lot of those guys have fallen way flat, to the point now where, I mean, I think you said on the big board, Dante Moore was number 1 on that big board, which nobody would have had that in August at all, that Dante Moore was going to go in the top 3 or 4, that he'd be the first quarterback off the board. Nobody had that. Even if you look at the Heisman odds with Carson Beck and Ty Simpson at the top of it, nobody would have had that in August, that's what it would look like. Mendoza's the third choice.
I think the thing with me for those two teams was they were so similar to what we saw with an Ohio State team that had just won a national championship. So much production coming back. And I don't know if I think I did believe in Klubnik. I don't know if I believed in Aller as much, but an experienced quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I didn't believe in Will Howard, in the fact that I thought Will Howard was going to go to the NFL and be a starting quarterback forever. But he was just an experienced leadership at that position, right? And that's what both of those teams had. So they had a bunch coming back, a bunch of production coming back, and they had that guy that was no doubt the leader of the team at the quarterback position.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you kind of wondered with at least Dabo, like, was there one more? Did old Dabo have one more in him? Because James Franklin sure didn't. But you wondered about, I've been wondering about Dabo for about 8 years now. You got one more in him? Not the case.
No, I don't think so. And I think for him, like, this was the year. If he was going to have one more run at it, it was going to be this year. And now they're going to play this year. They're going to miss out on it, and they're nowhere to be found. I wish that Miami had a challenge here, because there's nothing really, I don't think. I'm going to pull it up really quickly.
So they don't have a single ranked opponent left on their schedule right now. I think there was a thing going around yesterday that Ohio State didn't either, which is true right now of the rankings, but I expect them to change. Michigan might.
Oh, they're Big Ten, so no matter what they do, they'll probably stay out. So they play early November. They're at SMU. Miami is. So they don't leave the state of Florida until they go to Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flat Auto Glass. The way Caden McDonald's played on the defensive line, and we saw some of this toward the end of last year. Has it just been a continued escalation for him?
I think Caden is maturing every day. You can just see it in his eyes.
sometimes you can tell the maturity of somebody just by the seriousness about how they go about their business. And I'm seeing that with K-Mac. I think every day, he wants to, bring a certain level of, professionalism to the table, and he knows, what needs to get done. He's always somebody that's flashed, but now he's consistently doing it over time. And that's where the hard work. And also now he's trying to bring guys along with him because he knows how important it is. So all of those things, you're starting to see the maturity of him. And again, this is another guy that has become a huge part of our defense, and we build the defense from the inside out, and he's certainly right in the middle of it.
We'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Another guy that's been a huge part of the defense is Davison Igbinosun at corner. Where has he kind of smoothed some things out with his play?
Yeah, well, he's always been a very competitive guy, edgy player, always around the ball. The week before, we knew that the ball was going to get squirted out to him, and he had a bunch of tackles and made sure everybody in the stadium knew where he was. And that's the way he plays his game, and he's aggressive. But there's times at the top of routes where he's really had to create discipline and composure and poise. For somebody who is as competitive as he is, you're seeing him, get his hands on balls, get PBUs, and finish the play the right way. And so he's had to make those adjustments coming off of last year. But this is somebody that, the minute he got into our building, he kind of changed the culture of that room along, with Tim Walton. And now every day, consistent and only looking to get better. And I think Davison, has done that. And again, another for some of our younger guys, just to see how he goes about his business is very important. He's not a guy that says a whole lot, but he lets his play do the talking for him.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Round here, it's all or nothing, and nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
The Daily Fan Poll asks, at 1/3 of the way through the NFL's regular season, who do you think should be league MVP? 92% say Baker Mayfield. We got about 200 votes on this thing on Twitter. 1.6% Josh Allen, 1.6% Patrick Mahomes, 4% say other. Isaac says Drake May as other.
Who's the who is he the leading, like voting wise, like odds wise, is Baker
His
the leader?
odds right now, yes.
Does he? Yeah.
Is he? I thought I heard somebody say Mahomes was.
You'd have to check. But yeah,
I like
this morning.
Yeah, I like I like Mahomes in that too. Bake's a lot of injuries. I mean, their point differential is like plus 14, despite being 5-1. They've won a ton of close games. He keeps this up, he's going to win it.
To Baker's point, 45 minutes ago, BetMGM has Mahomes and Allen ahead of Baker, and then Jared Goff's fourth.
Yeah, watch out for Goff if they can make a run. That guy's perpetually disrespected. All right, time for It's a First Friday, kids. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
We drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
All right. I saw my good buddy Aaron Portsline tweeting and lamenting the fact that they no longer have pumpkin spice donuts at his Tim Hortons that he goes to. So this is what I'm going to do for you, Porty. This is for you and for everybody who likes the pumpkin spice. And by the way, this is cocktail season. A little bit of crisp in the air, little fire outside. Take it all in. This is it. So we're going to do a pumpkin spice old fashioned. Really easy to make. There is a pumpkin spice syrup that you can get wherever you get your cordials. So you're going to need about a teaspoon of that. You're going to need a splash of vanilla bitters. So that's an easy one to find too. Get some vanilla bitters. If you don't have those, you should have some black walnut bitters minimum. That works very good with it too. That's probably my favorite bitter to go with any type of whiskey. But vanilla is best for this specific recipe. So pumpkin spice syrup, a teaspoon of that, a splash of a couple of shakes of vanilla bean bitters. And then for this one, use a rye. The spice in a rye whiskey really marries well with the pumpkin spice syrup and the vanilla. So I'm going to go Old Forester rye as my choice for this one. So we're going to go 3 ounces of Old Forester rye whiskey. Give me that pumpkin spice syrup, a couple of dashes of vanilla bitters, and away you go over a big rock. You got yourself a pumpkin spice old fashioned. Good enough for your officially endorsed. Time for 3 things.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Number 1 for me, the golden retriever Buddy Garrity will turn 3 years old on Friday, and so they're going to do a little birthday celebration for him, and they're buying him all this stuff that he's not going to care about when all he really cares about is more food. And it got me thinking about him, and I don't know if it's just him. I don't remember other dogs that I had in my life that were this way. This guy walks around like he's never eaten, always starving. Any whiff of food or crumb, like you would think that he's malnourished. He is fed appropriately and plenty, but he walks around. If there is a 0.2% chance that a crumb off of a sandwich is going to hit the floor, he's ready. He's always ready for battle. I've never seen anything like it. All the dogs we had as kids weren't like that. I don't remember them being like that. This dude, you'd think he's malnourished. He's not, by any means. But he will eat anything that drops and anything that's thrown at him except for citrus. He can't do lemons and limes. Has no interest in that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, dogs will be picky about what some things you do give them. Yeah. It's like, well, be gracious. You're getting this block of celery, Odie.
Right.
First thing for me to Porty, the Circle of a Pumpkin show starting today. If you want to make the trek down, grab yourself some pumpkin donuts and trek back up. Also, this is your first reminder that I'm going to give our listening audience. The Columbus Marathon is Sunday at 7:30. If you live between downtown, Bexley, back, the Arena District, German Village, plan your Saturday or your Sunday accordingly. Probably your Saturday, too, because of, setting that race up.
Such an awesome event.
Bo, in honor of the way you started the show today, I will give you this.
Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
And Bo, to your point, it is 1 minute and 8 seconds until you hear another word where Scully says, in a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Then he waits another 30 seconds before you hear anything else.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Good job out of you on that. Number 2 for me, NBC, the 13-year-old is in D.C. on his 8th grade trip. So now I'm just kind of messing with him because he's acting like he's having the best time ever. So I will just text him, for example, last night I texted him a picture of Bootsy in nothing but his underwear sleeping in his bed, using his bathroom. It's amazing to rage bait from 400 miles away. I just love it so much. The anger that comes back is perfect.
It's a good job out of you.
Yeah.
This, my second thing, would have been useful about 25 years ago. Pop-Tarts announcing they're going to be bringing out protein Pop-Tarts. Starting in November for $4, you can either get Bumpin' Blueberry, Slammin' Strawberry, or Boostin' Brown Cinnamon Sugar to the tune of 10 grams per one serving of Pop-Tarts.
When we were talking about some of our favorite play-by-play calls earlier, I noticed none of us mentioned Paul Keels, and I specifically did not.
No, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's a bad job out of me, but I did not because I specifically wanted to play my favorite Paul Keels call ever.
And he'll roll to the right and hit this punt from the 15-yard line, and it'll wobble and be fielded by Ted Ginn. 40, 50-yard line, middle of the field. To the 40, Ted Ginn, wide to the right. Ginn to the 30, Ginn to the 20. Count him off, baby. He's in the house again. Ted Ginn with his second touchdown in minutes. He ran through Michigan State like Mexican water through a first-time tourist. 61 yards. Ted Ginn on the punt return.
That was November 6th of 2024 in Ohio State's win over Michigan State. Ginn had a punt return touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown that day. And I'll never forget, we were working on that Saturday and could not watch, so we were listening. I lost it when Paul said that at the end.
I mean, that's perfection. And honestly, that's the perfect way to end a show on a first Friday. So well done for everybody. Act accordingly out there. Rothman and Ice coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.